ठीक है। स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं। Okay, first of all, very good morning, everyone. So, environment as a module, right? Today we are going to start, and you have already gone through the syllabus part of it, right? How many people appeared last year exam? Just want to know. Last year दिए थे, अच्छा ठीक है. Prelims qualified? No, it was not there. Okay. Anywhere else you have done coaching before coming to SRIS? There are students who have done sometimes 10 घाट के, है ना? तो वही चीज है, कभी यहाँ हो गया, यहाँ नहीं हुआ तो वहाँ कहीं हो गया. That's what it's better to ask that prior background of the students. इसमें बहुत सारे ऑनलाइन वाले होंगे जो मैंने बोला 10 घाट का पानी पीने वाले, वो लोग होते हैं. So anyway, you all are welcome to the class, right? And nowadays you know that the subject, the requirement of the subject is very different, right? UPSC doesn't follow set pattern, right? What I want to say, set pattern means if a topic has been asked in 1 year exam, next year something else will be asked, right? It is not that that 1 year the same topic will get repeated the next year. And it's very obvious. Why it is very obvious? Because year by year the competition is increasing. The level of competition is going higher there. And post COVID-19, post Corona scenario, right? The more number of people are coming to civil service preparation. So they need to keep a standard. They maintain a standard there, right? That's why the question and the nature of the questions are changing every year. And environment is one topic which is very dynamic. You have to know the syllabus part, but again you have to connect with the current aspect. Whether the Hindu paper, Indian Express, there are now the magazine like Down to Earth magazine, PIB, you have to be very updated with that. Right, questions can be asked from any of such sources. What is the first thing to start with? The first very thing is the knowing the syllabus. You are aware of the static part, right? That is always the beginning part of it. Then comes current affairs, right? Now, normally what I found that there is a myth. What is the myth there? That you read only the current affairs, you will be able to solve the question. You don't require to go back to the books. And it's not the matter of environment as a subject. You take any subject, whether economy, polity, governance, geography, whichever subject you take there. Current affairs is important, no doubt about it. Nowadays questions are coming from current affairs. But initially you have to build the foundation. Let's say if you are a beginner, first time you are reading a subject, you need to study the basic fundamental aspect. Then comes current affairs, right? It's always the part of every subject. It's not that I'm talking about environment as a subject. You take any subject, this is what is required for UPSC exam, right? Now coming to current affairs kind of thing there. The entire market is flooded with current affairs, right? You take any coaching institute, you have current affairs, right? And needless to say, there are popular coaching institutes, their materials are there. You go to Xerox shop, you'll get that. You go to bookstall, you'll get that. You will try to go to the online, you'll find it. Right? But my question is that how better they are able to catch UPSC exam. The things what you are reading, does that question paper ask that kind of a question? Let's look at last year. I've asked how many people appeared last year exam, 2023 exam, right? And if you look at the kind of preparation what you have done, like if those of you have appeared last year, I'm very sure you have gone through the syllabus. You have read the syllabus, you are aware of the topics. Let's say ecological concept, biodiversity, climate change, pollution, all these are topics there. So in spite of that, you have read, at that time you would have gone to current affairs also. But you were not able to qualify the exam. What could be the reason for that? The two questions are there. Either you are not very confident what you have studied. That's one part of your preparation. Or second question arises that whatever sources you read, no question came from there. There's only way out. Either self or outside. Either you have not been able to perform well for whatever reason. There are multiple reasons are there. You are not able to get properly there, right? There are many factors are there. It's not one factor. Or second thing is that the material or the courses what you relied, right, and but you relied blindly, that didn't help you to attempt the question and you lost out, right? Or could be both. That's what I'm saying, that if you look at the current scenario of the way students are preparing this subject, right, they are haphazard. And you say, look at common source, the Hindu, Indian Express, PIB, Yojana, down to earth. Every institute, every current affairs will have the same common sources. There's nothing different. So when questions are being looked from the UPSC exam point of view, right, UPSC will always, what I said, UPSC is always going to maintain a standard. Topics are the same, what you are reading. That is the Hindu paper or Indian Express, whatever you're reading, the sources, the topics are there. But the way the questions are being asked, that is changing. Right? So what is my say is that current affairs, whatever you're reading, you read that one, but at the same time try to look into its different dimensions. Let's say, for example, I'll give you an example. Suppose there's one of the very important news right now going on, the Prime Minister visit to Kaziranga National Park. Right? He went for Northeast, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam. Now Kaziranga National Park. He went for safari and all this thing. Now that is being a headline. Now the question is that, how much you know about Kaziranga? It's a very, very important site. Do you know about Kaziranga's background? When it was set up? What type of biodiversity? What type of flora and fauna that Kaziranga is there? What type of geographical kind of a landscape Kaziranga has got? Right? One common answer when I ask about Kaziranga, the one reply will come from all of you, greater one-horned rhinoceros. Kaziranga, Manas, all these are there. Right? But are you aware of other type of species found in Kaziranga? How much you are aware of the geography of Kaziranga? Do you know it is a Ramsar, whether it is a Ramsar site or not? Whether it's a wetland or not? So you are now asking question. What is Kaziranga? Right? You are trying to explore the answers by asking questions. UPSC is not going to ask you that PM Narendra Modi's visit to the Kaziranga. Headline will not be asked the question. Question will be linked with environment. And it can be any perspective. Environment, I believe, is a subject which goes to every area of GS, general studies. You can connect with history, you can connect with society, culture, economy, geography, science. You can connect with everything. So now that question comes at how you are looking into those kind of topics. Or is it simply that current affair material which gives you gist? What most of current affairs material do? They only take the article and make a summary of that, point wise. Is it sufficient for you to answer the questions in UPSC prelims exam? See, one is that Hindu paper or Indian Express PM's visit to Kaziranga or Northeast. Certain points are there, the gist is there. But is it sufficient when the question will be asked in UPSC exam about Kaziranga to answer that? That means you have not gone beyond the article. This is where the content play a very important role. If any institute provides you kind of in-depth aspect of Kaziranga, all information about Kaziranga, its past, its present, you are looking from every dimensions. That means your area of information becomes broader. And if UPSC asks from anywhere, any question, you will be in a position to attempt the question. Right? That's what I'm trying to just trying to make it, because today is the first class. So just to give you an idea how to approach the subject. And most of you will appear this year exam. You don't have much time with you. Right? You don't have much time. It's less than, I think, 90 days. Right? 100 days would have started with the 5th of March. You are losing the time. You have to be very, very specific to that. What need to study, what need not to be studied. Right? That is one part is there. Again, when you read books, right, material. So one is that you have to first go to the theory, one in a manner that if any question comes in the exam, you are in a position to answer it. If theoretical question is asked, right? If any theoretical question is asked, you are in a position to answer it. And what UPSC follow as a pattern? It takes the area of questions, right? And then experiment with the questions. Like if I just tell you 2021 exam, just go back and see 2021 prelims exam. There are 7 to 8 questions on NCERT based question. Like which of the following symbiotic relation, which of the biogeochemical cycle primarily based on rock, right? Which of the following is a detritivores, right? There are 7 to 8 questions directly from the book. That means theory part. Now 2022, no question. 2023, again no question. So what is one of the big problem I have found with the normal aspirants who are preparing there? That they take it that, okay, this year question has not been asked. Let's forget it. Right, last 2 years questions are not being asked. Let's leave it. Let's see those areas where question has been asked last year. Right? Now, another thing, all what the institutes are doing, again they look at last year question paper, 2023, and based on that they make the content. So they're again not going beyond the things. See, if you understand the need of the exam and where UPSC is all about, and you prepare in that manner, you'll be able to solve the question. But the problem, biggest problem comes that whatever you are getting fed, they're not up to the mark. That's what I said. Last year, what question came will not be repeated. And UPSC is not going to follow the same pattern of questions and the topics. But again, what happens? When you solve test series question, when you read current affairs materials, you are fed with the same kind of content which the last year UPSC has asked. Now this year 2024 will be completely new. Whatever questions will be there, totally new will be there. It will have nothing to do with the last year. Now, if you look at last year, every year you get question on species, right? What UPSC asked the question? Squirrel, Indian squirrel, marsupial. Another question was, which of the following has they are active after sunset, nocturnal? No cheetah, no tiger, no Asiatic lion, nothing from the current affairs material. Nothing from current affairs material. See, one of the biggest problem by staying in this area is that your thought process gets blocked. You're not able to see beyond. Because you are seeing the crowd. And what they are doing? Popular study materials. Reading room, library, same thing. So what you know something called bystander effect. What is bystander effect? Let's say if you are somewhere in a crowd, if let's say one person does something, and if it is repeated by another one, you try to believe that that is true. You don't see yourself there. This is one of the biggest challenges. This area has one of the big limitations that whatever 99% of the people are doing, same content, same material, reading room, the same thing is there. And it is happening every year. Last year, the same thing was there. The student failed in the prelims exam, right? Again, they are repeating the same thing this year also. And after the exam, then they will realize that this is the mistake there. So, what is the way out? Since the time is limited and we have a 30 hours class, around 30 hours class, that means till 23rd of this month, we'll be ending the syllabus there. So in that case, what we can do, we will go to the theory part, but again, we will also have QEP, Quality Enrichment Program. So I'm going to have 3 days QEP program to connect the current affairs. But during the classroom discussion, we will also cover the current aspect. It's not that, yes, but complete current affairs will be in the QEP program. The focus of this batch is to get back to the syllabus, learning the syllabus, and in the context of syllabus, learning the current affairs. What are the dynamic areas from the syllabus point of view, right? So those who have already, that's what I asked, if you have covered coaching earlier, if you have read books earlier, so that's up to you to revise. But those who are the beginners, those who are the very first time going to appear this year exam, this session will be really very, very important. Even for those who are going to be the repeaters, there is something called repeaters or seniors, right? Those people also they're part of. So you'll get to know the things of that, right? So we'll be covering those areas. But again, in the beginning of the session, I have mentioned you what is happening right now, right? What basically things are going on. So you have 2 months or 2.5 months. This is the time you have to get back to the main kind of thing and preparation part, not the herd mentality. What is going around, you have to be outside the crowd. And then you will be able to see the entire aspect of UPSC and attempt the question. Let us just to have something this session. I have got some slides here. G20, you are aware. Last year, India was the host. You have also read that South Africa or African countries, right? They become the part of it. So G20 as a big summit, right? Pragati Maidan, right? That was the thing there. So if you look at G20, why I'm bringing G20, the reason is that, you know this, the theme, one earth, one family, one future. It has a political connotation. It has a geopolitical connotation. But what is another thing here? Environment. Environment, if you look at it as a subject, it has a global, regional, local. That's why UPSC questions are at the 3 levels. You find in the prelims exam and the main exam, question linked with the global aspect. Let's say, for example, climate change summit, COP28, UAE, right? Whatever decisions governments are taking, whatever initiatives to fight climate change happening at the global level, that becomes a part of the question, right? At the same time, it also looks into regional aspect. Let's say South Asia, Asia. What are the environmental issues being faced by South Asia or Asian continent or Africa? Let's say, for example, disappearing lakes of Africa. Lake Fagubin, Mali. The entire lake disappeared. So Great Lakes of Africa, those are disappearing. That's one of the reasons is the desertification. Now desertification is a global issue, but desertification also has ramification at the regional level. And when it comes to local level, it's a national level. Belandur Lake in Bangalore. It has been the news. Belandur Lake in Bangalore, one aspect is the pollution. Second, the lake is shrinking. And Bangalore, you know that is a metro city, huge population and all this. So what I've given here, if you look at the global level, you're talking climate change, desertification. Then you are getting to regional level, let's say Africa or Asia. What are the problems regarding that? And then you are coming down to the India and local level. This is where the UPSC is picking up topics. UPSC question setter. They are not coaching institute content developers or test series developer. They are subject matter experts. Those are those people who know in and out about everything. अगर वही कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट का मटेरियल उठा के क्वेश्चन बनाने लगते हैं तो सबके सब आईएएस बन जाते हैं. Everybody was qualified to become IAS officer. So they are now getting to those type of thing there. And why they are asking question? Because they want those type of civil servants, because the future governance, administration will be driven through environment. Environment will be a driving factor. So that's what they are setting a question of that level. So this is what I'm trying to make you in the very first session. We are going to cover all those topics. But first session is always to give you an idea. What is your way of preparation? Where are you going wrong? Or where are you're going right? Do you need to have some kind of correction? So what I said here, questions in the coming exam, again will be 3 level. At the international level, whatever challenges are there, whether it's a climate change, ozone layer, or you take any kind of desertification, any global challenge, you'll have question. And then at the same time, regional and national level. Like I've given the example, Belandur Lake is there in the news for last 5 to 6 years. Now my question is that, whatever current affair material reading, Go back and see which material has covered Belandur Lake. What is the coverage there? Suppose this year question comes on Belandur Lake. Are you aware of that lake? About the part of it? That's the main thing, sir. Right? So that is where how you to look from that. That's what I said, like G20 is just a kind of a summit at the global level. But it highlights the global issues, and global issues are so many. And one of the global issues is environment. Terrorism and other aspects, there are other global issues. But environment is again the one of the issue there. Right? And since Africa become a part of it, Africa is facing a lot of environmental problems. Right? That comes here. So that's one part is there. Now let's look at another thing here. What is this? Yes. How many will come from South India in the class? Okay. Which state? Karnataka, yes. Andhra. Any idea? This is called Pulikali. Pulikali. Pulikali is a dance form. There's a place in Kerala called Thrissur. Thrissur is called cultural capital of Kerala. And the state festival of Kerala is Onam. Fourth day after the Onam, in Thrissur, there is a cultural dance form called Pulikali, which basically means tiger dance. Here, men, not the only men. The men, they have a troop or groups are there. Different groups are there. They paint their bodies. You can see all the big cats are there. Tiger, lion, panther, cheetah, leopard. They paint themselves and they have a street dance, which is called Pulikali. And this was started right hundreds of years back by that time when the princely state was there, Maharaja's time there. It was continued after even that. Now, this form of dance is one aspect, is a cultural aspect, where what you can see in the photograph. And second aspect comes what? Environmental. Right? Looking into the environment. So whether it's the Onam or you say Pongal or Makar Sankranti or Lohri or whatever cultural festivals are there, Bihu in Assam, right? All these are connected with the environment, particularly with the animals, agriculture and all this. Now, what is the thing here? You are all going to appear in this year exam. How the UPSC get into the question? And from where I have taken the photograph? You know, even sometimes Hindu has a photograph. Simple photograph. With one sentence written in the bottom. This is where the questions are asked in the exam. Even a direct question, even a simple question can be asked. Like I've given you Pulikali here. And now when you talk about big cats have become very important. Recently, what India has started? International Big Cat Alliance. What has been already existing? Global Tiger Forum, GTF. Again, the current aspect comes. Right? Every current affair material has covered International Big Cat Alliance. That India, 7 big cats. We have 5 of them here. Now, with the arrival of cheetah from Africa, we have again the part of it. So, that's what I say, when you are reading newspaper, daily current affairs, that becomes the base. Last moment compilation, and trying to do like last minute, that doesn't help. What I believe, the UPSC preparation is a long-term preparation. Entire 1 year. ठीक है? ज़्यादातर स्टूडेंट क्या करते हैं? लास्ट मोमेंट में बाजार से इकट्ठा करेंगे सारा, जो भी करंट अफेयर्स का चल रहा है. And since you don't have time at the last moment, you only read those kind of things you are not able to explore. Why? Because syllabus is very vast. Current affair itself is a ocean. A lot of things are there. And then you are in a fixed condition there. But if out of here in the classroom, those of you are following the daily current affairs regularly from day 1, last 1 year, you will have an advantage. Because if any topic is asked beyond the popular current affairs materials, those students will be in a position to answer the question. Somewhere they have read. So that's what I say, that this thing, now I am interacting with you very quite late. Because generally, my point is that I don't believe in all these big coaching stuffs. Right? I am right now in a very grassroots way, going throughout the country, teaching the students who are there, who really are not able to come to Delhi and get the right direction. That's what I've been doing for the last 1 year. Because they are the people there. What is happening now, the people who are coming to Delhi, they are not getting the right kind of thing. But I'm trying to, even now you have a time, and in environment, around 15 to 16 questions are asked. I'm going to cover that. So what I've said here, Pulikali, is one of the things was there, where you can see here, lion, tiger, whatever. And this is linked with the cultural aspect of Kerala. Right? Here the kind of performance to make people aware of the importance of animals, fauna. That becomes a part of it. Now let's look at another one here. How many people are aware of this? Planetary boundaries. There are 9 planetary boundaries. And mankind has breached 6 of them. Again, where it came? The Hindu paper. Sometimes small article may be missed out. I have told you, all these big coaching institutes, they only focus on what have been asked in the last year exams. UPSC will go beyond there. Planetary boundaries. Right? Now again, this was in the news. Again, Down to Earth magazine. Suppose that if this year exam, you get question from here. So those who are aware, they will be able to solve the question. Now if you look at here, biosphere integrity, biodiversity part, and what UPSC is doing, in each of these subject matter, UPSC is asking question, like biosphere, climate change. Again, it's a very important topic. Novel entities. I'll give you example. Plastic, microplastic, novel entity. 20 years back or 30 years back, we were not talking about plastic pollution that much. But today, we are talking too much of plastic pollution. And about Great Pacific garbage, mid of the ocean, thousands of tons of plastic, which is the debris scattered there, is a novel entity. That means, normally what pollution we have been talking about? Air, land, water. I'll give another example, light pollution. Light pollution. Now, again, 20, 30 years back, light as a pollution was not a very big topic. But today, light pollution has emerged as one of the problem, water problem. Novel entity. Now, most of the time, what you find in current affairs materials? Delhi smog. हो गया यार, दिल्ली स्मॉग हो गया, राइट? अभी भी दिल्ली के पीछे ही पड़े हुए हैं, वही स्मॉग चल रहा कहानी. There are a lot of areas in pollution areas. A lot of new areas are there. And UPSC will always diversify in such areas, right? Right? UPSC will always go into such areas. But yes, you have to know about Delhi pollution. Stubble burning, this and that. You have to be aware of that. But are you aware about the pollution topic in many different ways? I've given example plastic. I've given example light pollution. Nuclear. Recently, Fukushima, the coolant water, radioactive coolant water, been discharged into Pacific. Fukushima disaster, already 13 years have been there. 2011 earthquake, tsunami, Japan. Right? It's already been there. So there are some novel entities which have not been categorized. UPSC can ask question. Then, ozone layer, stratospheric ozone layer. So let me ask the question. Geography. What all do you know about ozone layer? Stratospheric ozone layer. बताओ ओजोन लेयर के बारे में. What all things you are aware? Geography. तो पढ़ा है. So okay, tell me about ozone layer. What all things you know about ozone layer? Ultraviolet rays, okay. Stratospheric ozone layer. This is what I'm stratosphere, ozone layer. What is the height of stratospheric ozone layer? At what height this ozone is formed?
13 kilometers.
Okay. Mid of the stratosphere. Okay. How the ozone is formed? Ozone, there's ozone layer, right? There's what she has said, 13 to 14, 40 kilometers. There's a tower of ozone layer, ozone molecule. How the ozone is formed? Right. So, what I'm asking here, what, how, questions. So, when you're talking about stratospheric ozone layer, so do you know about its entire aspect of that? What is Dobson unit? What is Dobson unit? Measure the ozone concentration. This part we have studied. Ozone depletion, ozone hole, right? Antarctica ozone hole. This is what you cover. Geography teacher will definitely teach there. Ozone hole formation over Antarctica, South Pole, polar vortex, polar stratospheric cloud. This all you have covered that. That is one part which you are covering. How it comes to environment? That emission of what? ODS. What is ODS? Ozone depleting substances. So what are the sources of such substances? And you know, last year 2023 exam, HFC was asked from where hydrofluorocarbons are emitted. Halogen containing compounds, halogens. The many things are there where we use that. And again, you have to be aware from the conservation part of it. Like you all know that Vienna Convention, Montreal Protocol. But then what comes? Kigali Agreement. What is Kigali Agreement? I mentioned HFC, no? Kigali Agreement aimed to phase out what? Production and consumption of hydrofluorocarbon by 2050, mid of the century. Again, you have to know the agreement, purpose and everything there. That's what I'm saying. Each of the topic what you see, they are the part of the question. Then now see aerosol, not yet quantified. What is aerosol? Normally we are talking particulate matter, like PM 2.5, PM 10, right? But now you know that black carbon, soot, unburned carbon, right? So again, they are the aerosol which are floating in the environment. It comes into then acidification of ocean acidification. What is happening with the ocean water? Gradually becoming acidified. Presently, ocean is alkaline. Why ocean alkaline? Salt. But now, too much of CO2, ocean getting acidified. So what are the impacts of that? And if you go back previous questions, you'll find question asked on ocean acidification, phytoplanktons and all this, impact on that. Then biogeochemical flow, nitrogen cycle, phosphorus cycle, carbon cycle, water cycle. UPSC is asking question regularly. And what do you find here? Nitrogen and phosphorus. It has crossed the limit. Too much of nitrogen in the environment. We are using fertilizer, right? Fertilizer and other kind of thing. Phosphorus again, fertilizer. So they are again linked to environmental issues. Then you can see freshwater change, groundwater depletion, river, all these are the environmental issues there. I mentioned Belandur Lake. But if you look at many lakes in India, many of the wetlands, many of the rivers, they are getting polluted. And again, what is another impact? Climate change impact. Human development part of it. And UPSC is asking question. Last year, water development report was asked. Water development report. Which UN report is there. And again, if you see here, land use change. The way our development. They're part of it. So what is this here? This diagram, what you see, this is called planetary boundaries. They are the 9 planetary boundaries. And each of the planetary boundary and whatever topics come there, they become the part of the question in the exam. So again, you have to see, one is that you have to know planetary boundary concept. Second, you have to delve into each of the environmental problems. We will be covering in the class. We will be going to such areas one by one. This environment module is very important because I've said that I'm going to take you whatever the classes. We are going to cover a lot of such areas. And this is the right time to do it because 1 year or last 3-4 years current affairs. I don't believe only 1 year current affairs. Current affairs can be continuous. UPSC even can ask 3 years back also there. That becomes very important. So that is what you have. Now if you look at further this one. Earth Overshoot Day. 2023, it was August 2. Every year you have a day. Okay, two questions. First, GK, general knowledge. Which date will be this year, 2024, Earth Overshoot Day? And second concept, what is Earth Overshoot Day? That's a part of it. Now again, my question is that, whatever material reading, are they covering this kind of topics? Do the books cover those kind of topics? Right? ये बहुत जरूरी है. पहला सेशन लेने का यही रीजन है, आपको जगाना, टू वेक यू अप. और अभी टाइम है, यू कैन क्वालिफाई द एग्जाम. ठीक है, नहीं तो इन्वायरमेंट क्वेश्चंस विल बी देयर, 15 क्वेश्चन विल बी देयर. दैट्स गोइंग टू बी वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट देयर. एंड एवरी ईयर मेनी ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स वेयर सिंपल क्वेश्चंस दे कैन क्वालिफाई द एग्जाम, उनका रह जाता है. तो मेरा क्वेश्चन यही है, अब नेक्स्ट टाइम जब आप पढ़ोगे मटेरियल, जब आप कोई भी करंट अफेयर्स का मटेरियल लेंगे, तो आप सोचोगे कि क्या ये जो पढ़ रहे हैं वो कितना रेलेवेंट है. हाउ मेनी क्वेश्चंस कैन बी आस्क्ड फ्रॉम दोज काइंड ऑफ मटेरियल्स. आई हैव सेड अर्थ ओवरशूट डे. So what is the concept here? Anybody in the class? Yes, it is the day, is something called biocapacity. It's the day of the year where the entire mankind has consumed all the resources that Earth can provide that year. Let's say every year Earth provides some resources, food, water, whatever raw material we require. So that is the day when the entire human civilization has consumed all that resources what Earth provides. That means after that day, whatever we are consuming, we are basically over exploiting. अर्थ को उस साल जितना प्रोड्यूस करना था वो प्रोड्यूस हो गया, और जितने भी लोग हैं, इंसान हैं, उन्होंने यूज कर लिया. वी आर नाउ 8 बिलियन, राइट? 8 बिलियन पॉपुलेशन वर्ल्ड वाइड. इफ यू लुक एट दैट, वी आर क्रॉसिंग देयर. इंडिया का ऑलरेडी 140 करोड़ इज देयर. तो दैट हैज बीन यूज्ड. ठीक है, अब क्या है जो उसके बाद का आ रहा है, दैट इज अ ओवर यूज ऑफ इट. ओवरशूट मीन्स, दैट मीन्स वी आर गोइंग बियॉन्ड दैट. Like for example, last year it was August 22. This year, July 24th. So it is falling 1 month before. Obvious reason is that population has grown up. Right? Population has grown up. Consumption demand has increased. So more resources will be consumed. The day will fall before, not ahead. But now imagine if we are able to conserve the resources. Suppose whatever we consume, but we are able to conserve it and help Earth regenerate, then the date will not be behind. We'll be pushing the date ahead. That will be part of it. Now every country has got Earth Overshoot Day. What about India? Is there any Overshoot Day of India? Now this is the question. This is what, that will say that you have to ask the question. None. इंडिया का कोई भी अर्थ ओवरशूट डे नहीं है. नाउ दिस इज कॉल्ड बारीकी, द वेरी डिटेल्ड पार्ट व्हिच आई एम सेइंग दैट. इफ यू लुक एट कंट्री प्रोफाइल्स वर्ल्ड वाइड, अर्थ ओवरशूट डे, देयर इज अ बॉडी कॉल्ड ग्लोबल फुटप्रिंट नेटवर्क. दे डू समथिंग कॉल्ड इकोलॉजिकल फुटप्रिंट. इंडिया उसमें है ही नहीं. अगेन यू हैव टू कनेक्ट वेदर इंडिया इज अ पार्ट और नॉट. राइट? आई एम जस्ट ट्राइंग टू highlight the topics there. So this is what comes into that. This is called ecological footprint. Forest, carbon, cropland, and water, pasture, fisheries, all comes. So we are consuming more than that what Earth can generate there. Pollution, I've said that. Burning problems. Whatever pollution you take, air, water, land, whatever. Every year you get questions based on this. Now what is this? Again, geography. बताओ क्या है ये? Okay, how many have got anthropology as optional? Okay, so when man first time came on the earth, approximately you can say, when humans, Homo sapiens came, first man. Huh? कितने साल पहले वी एज अ स्पीसीज इवॉल्व? अरे नहीं यार, 4.6 billion, that time it was just in the beginning phase. Earth was formed there. I am asking about man. I am asking when man came on the, and this all you have studied in geography. Eon, epoch, era, period, this all you have studied in geography. Right? So when man came here, this what comes here, Holocene, which is the latest one, 11,700 years. That's the past. If you look at here, this is what comes here, Archean, Proterozoic, Cambrian, this is Paleozoic, Mesozoic, Cenozoic. We are right now Cenozoic. And after that, Holocene. We came around 11,700 years back. Our ancestors were there. Right? That time Mammoth was also there. Then there's something called Great Extinction Period events. Earth has already gone through 5 times mass extinction. The last extinction, where mammoth and all these species were wiped out. But we survived. Right? We survived that time. And if you look at Homo sapiens, we as a man, modern man, sapiens, in our genus, what is genus of our Homo? In out of our genus, we are the only surviving species. Our other species have been lost, like Neanderthal, Australopithecus, Denisovan. They were also species. We'll see in today's class species concept there. They got disappeared. We are the only surviving species in our genus. What is genus? Homo. We are the only one. But because sapiens, right? Sapiens, they are modern man. So now what is said here? 11,700 years back, that time when a man evolved as a species from the primate. We are the primate, comes from primate there. Now if you look from that time, but if you look at 200 years back, the modern times, industrial revolution, the fast human development, what we have done? We have modified the earth. We have changed the earth. Now that is where the problem is there. No? So what is now being talked about? Anthropocene. What I would like to bring this one. Scientists are debating whether we can fix a type of a period where we can say age of the man. Can we call it age of the man? Why? Because man as a species has made tremendous changes on the earth. Right? Agriculture. Let's look at agriculture. Man was as a species started doing cultivation of crops, human civilization. And I'm talking about 11,000 back. Harappa civilization was 4,000 years back. Even before that, as the man development came, all changes were brought. And even if you look at last 200 years, the rapid development of man has caused a lot of changes on the earth. Right? So now scientists debating that whether we can call as Anthropocene. Can we say a new era has started, Anthropocene, where man's age is there? And if you are willing to call it, then what should be the date? From which year will count? Will you take origin of the man, 11,700 years? Or we take last 200 years, industrial revolution? Or do we take last century, 20th century? Now there is another area of discussion worldwide, Anthropocene. Most of the people are saying we can fix that date or the year post 1950, 1950, after the use of atomic bomb, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, nuclear weapons. अब ये सब कॉन्सेप्ट है ना, ये सब चीजें अनटच्ड हो रहा है. राइट? यूपीएससी क्वेश्चन सी, यूपीएससी इज वेरी स्मार्ट. यूपीएससी को इनपुट पता है क्या चल रहा है, नहीं चल रहा है. एंड दैट्स व्हाट नाउ यूपीएससी nature of question, why it is changing that? Now that's what I say, you have to go back to the basics. You cannot neglect the basics. Fundamental concepts are required. Then comes the current affairs. Right? And although you know that most of the time the toppers who come, वो भी बोल के चले जाते ये पढ़ लो, वो पढ़ लो, ये कर लो. Right? तो what happened, अभी जो आजकल का जो माया जाल चल रहा है, you understand माया जाल? यूट्यूब का जमाना चल रहा है ना, बड़े बड़े मोटिवेटर्स आ गए हैं, बहुत उसके अंधभक्त बने हुए हैं वहाँ पर सब लोग, तो उनका ये हाल होने वाला है. तो दैट्स व्हाट सेइंग दैट यू ऑल आर वेरी जेन्युइन स्टूडेंट, यू आर प्रिपेयरिंग सिंसियरली फॉर द एग्जाम. तो वेयर एवर द वी आर लिविंग बिहाइंड, जहाँ आपकी कमी है वो मैं हाईलाइट कर रहा हूँ कि वेयर यू आर लैकिंग, व्हाट यू नीड टू डू फर्दर, so that you are in a position to solve maximum number of questions in the exam. Particularly from my subject, I don't know about other subjects. My subject, I'm saying, like I've given another person. Now let's look at here. We are going to cover all things there. UN, United Nations. What is very important? United Nations. What we are going to cover? Conventions, agreements, COP meetings. What are decisions have been taken? Again, they are linked with current affairs, and they become the important for that. What is this? Mangrove forest. Ecotone. What is ecotone? What is ecotone? Again, the basic concept. What is ecotone? Transition area where or merging of two different types of ecosystems. Now, mangrove is one of the example. Now tell me, I'll ask a very simple question. When you're reading newspaper, current affairs, which all mangrove forests you have come across in news? My question is news. Sundarban is there, okay? All right. Any other place? न्यूज में भी आता है ना, कई बार फोटोग्राफ भी होता है मैंग्रोव फॉरेस्ट न्यूज. सी वन इज दैट व्हाट इज मैंग्रोव फॉरेस्ट, व्हाई मैंग्रोव फॉरेस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट, व्हाट इज द बायोडाइवर्सिटी ऑफ मैंग्रोव फॉरेस्ट, व्हाट इज इकोटोन, दीज आर द कॉन्सेप्ट. देन व्हाट इज द नेक्स्ट टास्क? गेटिंग टू द करंट अफेयर्स. Which all mangrove forest you have read over the last 1 year, which have been part of the news? Geographical location. What are the part of the you have come across there? So again, you have to part of it. That again, and why I'm asking that? Every year you get question from protected areas, national park, sanctuary, biosphere reserve, tiger reserve, and what UPSC is asking question, mapping based question. Now mangrove could be a question here. We'll cover ecotone is very right. You are very right. Where two types of ecosystems transit or merge, that is ecotone. But again, you have to connect to the geography. Mangrove forest, right? You have to connect with that. Say Sundarban. When I asked, many of you gave me the answer Sundarban. But India is having a rich diversity of mangroves, and throughout east and west coast, and the islands, Andaman Nicobar Islands and all, we have mangrove forest. अभी न्यूज में आया था ग्रेट निकोबार, गवर्नमेंट इज हैविंग स्ट्रेटेजिक प्रोजेक्ट देयर, and there the mangrove forest being harmed. Nicobar project, right? Sundarban is all right. Sundarban everybody knows, and again I told you all materials what you read will talk about Sundarbans. But UPSC will go beyond Sundarbans, right? Bhitarkanika. Where is Bhitarkanika mangroves? Odisha. Which part of Odisha? Kendrapara district. And why it has come in the news? Nowadays it has come in the news because of one important species, saltwater crocodile, estuarine crocodile. And it was reported in Hindu paper about man and crocodile conflict. What you read in current affairs? Man and animal conflict, elephants. But now I'm giving you another story. Crocodile, saltwater crocodile, more in number, more than 900 in numbers. Now that is affecting the people who live around the Bhitarkanika National Park in Odisha. तो इसका मतलब क्या है कि आपने न्यूज़पेपर को ढंग से नहीं फॉलो किया, ये इसका मतलब है, राइट? That is what the problem is there. So then it's difficult. But then last moment, 30 hours class can only give you the basic thing there. But in order to get into all this one, you have to again get back there. And it happens every year. I'm telling you, this is not the scenario. And you will do the same thing the next year also. So that is what I'm trying to build up. You have to get back to the main part of it. If you're not able to do, then it's difficult. I'm just trying to make you understand. Now tell me about coral reefs. What are coral reefs? Symbiotic relation, yes. You are aware of it. Algae and that algae. What algae is there? Zooxanthellae, which lives into the coral. What is a coral? Marine animal, right? Polyps. Within that you have. Now again, coral reef as an ecosystem becomes very important. Marine ecosystem. Again, the conservation part and everything becomes a part of the part of it. Particularly the biodiversity part. और अभी क्यों न्यूज में है? Great Barrier Reef is the part, but I'll bring another angle. Maldives in the news, right? You know Muzo, who are president, asking the government to withdraw the navy, and with the China part, that is a IR, international relation. But what is Maldives known for? Tourism. What type of tourism? Ecotourism. People go for atoll, no? What is that called? Atoll. Recently, what happened? The Prime Minister went to Lakshadweep. Lakshadweep Sea. We have the same kind of island. So now again you see that the news was about is going on Maldives. Maldives is an issue, and the part of Lakshadweep and all these are there. And again, Great Nicobar, I have said, again you have a coral reefs. UPSC will get into the ecological aspect, will connect the environmental part, and based on that the questions will be asked. That's what I say, when you are looking at any current affairs topic, you have to connect dots. What is IR? What is the part of social aspect, economic aspect, strategic defense, science and technology, environmental aspect, where the coral reefs become important. Right? These all things are there. Now, you know that last year cyclone was there. Which cyclone was there in the news? There were two important cyclones. One is a Mixon. That affected the Chennai, Tamil Nadu coast and all, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and all this. And there was a oil spill, and that oil spill affected the Pulicat Lake. And Pulicat Lake comes into two states, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. Right? It has come there. And if you go to Pulicat Lake, again you'll find mangrove there. Now I'll connect another thing here. Now we have got 80 Ramsar sites, and many of the Ramsar sites have got mangrove forest. Again, the 80 Ramsar sites of India, and which of them are the mangrove forest? So again, this type of things, they will get into depth part and ask the question. Right? That's what I'm trying to come across there. You know, coral reefs crisis are there. This is called coral bleaching. You are aware of bleaching? What is bleaching happens? When the algae, zooxanthellae separate. And what is the main reason of that? There are many reasons are there. One is the warming, second acidification, third could be pollution, change in the salinity of the water. There may be multiple factors that can be part of it done there. Then let's look at this one. It was in the news, dugong. Take out the dugong. Again, if you look at Nicobar, Andaman Nicobar, we have dugong species. And what I've written on the bracket here, keystone species. Again, the term keystone species. Now, why I put across? When you look from 2011 exam, 2011 up till last year, 2013. Again, you have to see which are the topics where UPSC has not asked the question. Untouched area. Whichever untouched area, they'll get into that question. And again, I'm repeating the same thing. Many things what you read, that is where the questions have already appeared in the exam. Now, if you look at ecological concept, this is a very important topic, keystone species. And let's say you get one question, simple question. Sometimes questions are simple also there. Direct question in the exam. So are you aware of those kind of concept or example? Let's say UPSC can ask examples also. Which are keystone? Options are given 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So again, dugong. What is keystone species? Their population is less. They're less in number, but their function have profound impact on the ecosystem. Although they are few in numbers, but the way they perform their function, whether it's a herbivore, carnivore, it may be a plant, the way it performs the function, it has a tremendous impact on the balance of ecosystem. That means if they are lost, the entire ecosystem will be lost. That's called keystone. They're important to maintain the ecological balance in the ecosystem, right? So dugong is one example. Now if you see this one, invasive species, right? Lantana, I have given the photograph here. But there are hundreds of such species. Even India has reported many such species. Now this is one of the important area which comes in news frequently, invasive alien species, and is considered to be threat to biodiversity, native biodiversity. Now lantana has spread everywhere, even Himachal Pradesh. One can find lantana even in the Uttarakhand. Even it was found in Valley of Flowers. Where is Valley of Flowers? Uttarakhand there, right? Chamoli and that part. So this is the invasive, and from where it has come? America, Central America. It's not a native of India, but it is now spread everywhere. Now this is one example, but you can see all these are invasive. All these invasive there. Gecko, house gecko, goldfish or tilapia minor, pigeon, goldfish, this one. Now this snail, giant snail, African giant snail, right, is an invasive species. Maharashtra and Goa, it was affected by this particular. This I'm just giving few examples, but there are many are there. There are many such examples are there, and there are such examples which come in the newspaper. Even you can get direct question there. They can ask you, UPSC can ask you a direct question in that context there. That could be a part of it, right? This you are all aware. Where it has been introduced? Kuno. Now tell me about Kuno. What all things you know about Kuno? वो तो सबको पता है एमपी में, अफ्रीका से लाए, ठीक है। अब तो आपको वही है ना, मैंने क्या बताया इतनी देर से, मैंने ये बताया कि यू हैव टू गो बियॉन्ड द, जो भी बाकी सबको पता है, but it was not done, right? Okay. Kuno as a park is near to which place? मतलब उसका जोग्राफिकल लोकेशन मुझे बताओ। जैसे एमपी में है, तो उसके आसपास का कौन सा कोई ऐसा सिटी है, अर्बन एरिया है, कोई डिस्ट्रिक्ट है, बताओ जो एमपी के रहने वाले हैं। Those are from MP, can tell me. Know thy state, know your own state. कुनो के बारे में। पन्ना, you know? Yes, हाँ। Panna is also known for National Park Tiger Reserve. Panna is in which district? No, MP, no, I'm asking district. I'm not asking state, I'm asking district. Panna is district. Which is nearest there? Chhatarpur जगह है वहाँ, ठीक है? It's very near to a very important monument is there, Khajuraho. Kandariya Mahadev temple there. Khajuraho as architecture. Panna is near to, and very adjoining to Panna is the Kuno. Jhansi se, from there, the road which goes there towards the Khajuraho side. On the way, you have one side Palpur, Kuno Palpur, where the part of, and that area again is contiguous with the Chambal, and that's a part of MP, not only MP, UP and Rajasthan. The part of the bigger project of cheetah project is that slowly to bring more cheetah and get into that landscape, which will be going to a Rajasthan site called Mukundra. There is Mukundra Hills in near Kota. That's again the part of the Chambal landscape. So मेरा वही कहना है, what I want to just make you aware कि when you are reading about a project, like now cheetah project has been in news continuously. Even Supreme Court of India has given the order for that. Your death of the cheetah cubs. A lot of things have been in the news. But now, if let's say UPSC has to ask question, the UPSC will again connect the geographical aspect. Geography have one aspect. Another thing comes what? Kuno as a landscape, which all other biodiversities are there. मतलब कुनो तो एक तो चीता का है, और कौन कौन से स्पीसीज वहां पर है? I'll give you one good example. Siya Ghosh is a kind of a cat, jungle cat, right? and it is very endemic to such kind of area. MP in that area. तो अब ये ऐसे चीजों पे दे विल बी डेवलपमेंट. कहने का मतलब क्या है? द क्वेश्चन सेटर देयर, they are the expert, they are aware of it, so they are looking from the same topic. You all are reading cheetah, they're taking the cheetah only there, but they will be delving into such areas which are connected to cheetah project. And now what government has done? Tourism part. Now you know, safari, people can go and see the cheetah. Now already Kuno Park has started safari and all this ecotourism aspect of cheetah project there. So that is what. So again, we need to know about what? Species in news. What becomes very important from current affairs? Which are species and the news part. That becomes very important. Now coming to almost to the last, this is what I mentioned, Kaziranga. Yesterday it was in the news, Kaziranga. Right, 2 days back, Kaziranga National Park. So which river is there? River, Brahmaputra River. Is a part of Brahmaputra River. And what you see here is a swampy grassland. Is a wetland. But is it Ramsar site? Is it Ramsar site? No. Which is the Ramsar site of state of Assam? What is Ramsar site? Wetland of international importance. Ramsar Convention. Dipor Bill. That is near to Kaziranga. Dipor Bill. Kaziranga National Park is not there, but Dipor Bill, which again the part of Brahmaputra River, has been declared as a Ramsar site. Then near to Guwahati part you will come across. That was the part of the which I mentioned here. And then this was recently 5 new Ramsar sites have been declared. Out of that, one of this one, Longwood Shola Forest. What is Shola Forest? Temperate. Now, what is Shola actually? Now, temperate or tropical water. What is that forest? I've shown the photograph there here. Which part you find this one? Now, which part of the country we have this kind of forest? South, which part? Western Ghats. Western Ghats of India. It is not only the part of Kerala. Kerala, you have a place called Idukki. Idukki, the part of Munnar, that part. But you also go to Nilgiri. Nilgiri, you know, Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. That is a part of Tamil Nadu and Karnataka also. This particular part comes into that. So although it is a temperate forest, but it is a part of the Western Ghat landscape. Particularly where? Nilgiri. और ये जो आप देख रहे हो लॉन्गवुड जो है, this is a urban kind of landscape which has been declared as a Ramsar site. Right? It has become declared as a Ramsar site. ठीक है? Clear है? यहाँ तक clear है सबका? Are you all aware? Now the things you are able to understand here. So this is where I have done here. What I'll do now we will be getting to the topics one by one. नहीं पंखा बंद कर देते, फैन कहाँ चला गया वो? फैन करने पे तो वो हो जाएगा. नहीं फैन ऑफ कर दो, फैन ऑफ कर दो. फैन आवाज आएगी ना. It will the sound will be not audible there. क्योंकि यहाँ पे माइक का वहाँ पर हाँ ठीक है. नहीं इसको बंद करना है, बंद कर दो. Just close that. ऑफ करना है, ठीक है. Alright, anyway, let's get to the topic there. We'll now come to the topic one by one. So I'll just close this one. ठीक है. So let us now go to the notepad here. So we'll now start with the topic here. But again, I said I'll start from a very basic level. Right? Whether you accept it or not, current affairs is the next level. ठीक है. शुरुआत पहले हमेशा फंडामेंटल से होगा. ठीक है. That is what I'm all about. That I'll start from very fundamental level and then we'll connect with the current affairs. तो current affairs के लिए फिर QEP में cover होगा. ठीक है. So let us now go into the topic here. So today you have already got the topic of biodiversity part. So I'm going to start with the biodiversity. Ecological aspect, foods and food web I'll be coming later on. Today I'm going to cover this topic of biological diversity. Right. So biodiversity, let us go into, because this is a very relevant topic for the exam and many questions are asked in the exam. So as you know that general definition is what? Study of flora and fauna, right? This is the one general definition there. But biodiversity, if you have to define this term, It's basically a scientific study of how do you define the varieties of species here? Variations found in all living organisms. So what is the main thing is that any kind of diversity or differences which we come across any type of species, whether it's a plant, animal, fungi, algae, we take any kind of thing there. Even the bacteria. Although bacteria is a very primitive form of life, but again we can consider different varieties there. So found in all living organisms, right? And what is the main part of it? It has 3 levels. What are 3 levels here? One is that it looks into genetic diversity. At the gene level, right? We'll take certain example, genetic diversity here. That is at the gene level. Species is same. Let me see here, if I write here in the bracket here, changes what we notice within species. Let's say we take one species, and within that species we find differences. Right? So let's say, for example, we'll take certain example here. For example, if you look at India's in terms of leopard, we have a common leopard, but you are again aware we have a snow leopard. Himalayan range we have a snow leopard. Recently again snow leopard has come in the news because of snow leopard. This is a part of again getting endangered, right? Endangered species there. But now our government is trying to conserve, and first time we have got census data. How many snow leopards are found, right? So 700 some numbers have become. Then another thing what we come across here, clouded leopard. Now clouded leopard one can find is again a rare. We find in the Arunachal Pradesh, Sikkim, Eastern Himalaya. We will see clouded leopard in Eastern Himalaya, not the Western Himalaya. But when you say snow leopard, we can find it throughout Himalaya. Like for example, Ladakh. Leh Ladakh, we have snow leopard. There's a place called Hemis. Right here. There's a place, Hemis National Park, which is known for snow leopard. That's a part of the Ladakh kind of a belt there. Then you know Himachal Pradesh. So Himachal Pradesh, there's a Spiti. There's a place called Spiti, Lahaul and Spiti Valley. Then I have a Pin Valley. Right, Spiti, Pin, all these are part of northern Himachal Pradesh. But when you say Hemis, there's a part of Ladakh. So what do you find there? There's a part of Western Himalaya. But again, let's say if you go to Eastern Himalaya, you all know that Kanchenjunga, right? Kanchenjunga National Park in Sikkim. Again, you have when we go upper region, more than 3,000 meters, we find snow leopard there, right? Kanchenjunga also has a clouded leopard. At the same time, as we go further, Arunachal Pradesh, right? Arunachal Pradesh, you know, one of the very important place comes this one, Namdhapa. Where is Namdhapa? Arunachal Pradesh. I'm just giving example. Genetic diversity means same species, but we have differences. So now let's say Namdhapa National Park in Arunachal Pradesh is one of the place where you have all 3 leopards together. We can cite common leopard, we can cite snow leopard, we can also see clouded leopard. The same kind of ecosystem we find that. Right? Plus you have a tiger also there. Is also tiger reserve of Arunachal Pradesh. So taking a leopard as a species, we have diversity. Now I'll bring one more area. Panther, like you know, black panther. See, panther as a species, we will not say complete species, it's subspecies, which are evolved from leopard, but only one change comes here, melanin, pigment. The fur, color of the skin, right, black in color. But it has come from there. And if you look at black panther, it's similar, it basically resembles the jaguar. We look at the color and the size, jaguar there. But it has come from leopard, the black panther. And we have black panther in India. Like when you go to MP, Maharashtra region, we find common leopard, again you find Maharashtra and all this region, we have a population of common leopard. So that means they are leopard only, but they are different because of the genetic aspect. Let's look at another example here. When you say rhinos, right? Rhinos of the world. Again, I'm giving genetic diversity example. If you look at rhinos of the world, so there are 5 types of rhinos are there. All these are same species, but they differ at genetic level. Like for example, if you take rhinos of the world, so first is the northern white rhino. Northern white rhino. It is also called African white rhino. Size wise, if you look at the size, the body size, the biggest size is northern white rhino. Then comes the second, what comes greater one horn rhino, which India has got, right? One horn rhino. But again, you know, not only India, this one horn rhino is also part of Nepal, Bhutan. India is one part, right? Assam and that area comes there. But again, it goes toward Nepal side also and Bhutan side also. Like most of time, you'll find rhinos, the Indian rhino, we have population where Assam, right? But there are also population of rhinos found in Dudhwa National Park. Dudhwa National Park is the Terai range, Terai belt. That's a part of the UP, Uttar Pradesh. Northern UP, you know, Lakhimpur and the Lakhimpur Khiri, and that extend towards Nepal side. What type of habitat rhino require? Grassland. Because they are herbivores. They feed on the grass. And again, swamp. What is swamp? A wetland. Land filled with water. Marshy land and swampland. So they are found to live there. At the same time, not only Nepal, Bhutan also, the population of rhino is there. Then what comes here? Third one, African black rhino. Now, African black rhino has now almost gone to the brink of extinction. Only very few species, very few numbers have been left in the wild there, black rhino there. So Africa has the two of them, northern white rhino and the black rhino. Black rhino population has declined very, very fast. Then coming to Southeast Asia, right? When you go to Java, Sumatra, Indonesia, there are 2 types of varieties of rhinos are there. One is this Javan rhino, and then comes Sumatran rhino. Now, Sumatran rhino is the smallest in area. If you take area size-wise, not area, size-wise, Sumatra is the smallest in size, and if you take size by, then white rhino is the biggest. White rhino and Indian rhino are almost little bit of 1920. There's only small bit of differences there. But Sumatran rhino is a very small size. So now say all are rhinos, but they differ in the body size, morphology, right? Structure. That's because of DNA or genetic change. So what scientists do in the case of biodiversity study, they try to identify same species. They'll take the one species, but they will try to see the differences. How many different types are there? And then they will try to link with habitat, ecosystem. They'll try to connect with that one. So I just given 2 examples. Same way, if you look at cheetah, so African cheetah, Asiatic cheetah. And out of Asiatic cheetah, Indian cheetah was there, but which got lost. Indian cheetah is extinct. But still, few of Asiatic cheetah, they are found with Iran, leftover population. Where you find more cheetah? African cheetah. They are more in numbers. So if you look at main stock, ancestral stock is the Africa. Now, it would have happened that African cheetah would have migrated to Asiatic region, and then they had some genetic change, evolution, and they became Asiatic cheetah. Again, maybe in past, what would have happened? Group of Asiatic cheetah would have migrated to Indian subcontinent, and then they made genetic change and became Indian cheetah, right? They became Indian cheetah. So, if you take cheetah as a species, the same, but they differ it. See, there are many such examples. If you look at pangolin, there are different types of pangolins worldwide. India has got 2, Indian pangolin, Chinese pangolin, but they're pangolin only. So what scientists do? They fix their habitat, they fix an ecosystem, they try to see within the species differences. Like tiger, if you take tiger, Royal Bengal tiger, that's the Indian tiger, but you know, Siberian tiger, Caspian tiger, Javan tiger, the different varieties of tigers. So all these are genetic diversity, right? So that is one part comes which I've given example. So here what I've come across, let me go and get back. So what I said here, study of variation, right? I'm again repeating back. What is biodiversity? Different types. When scientists study differences, correct? Out of that, how many levels of study is there? One is the genetic. Now, what is genetic here? Within species, inside the same species. There, what I gave the example, leopard. Leopard is species, but what we find? Common leopard, snow leopard, clouded leopard. The different types are there. And I gave you the example of areas where we find snow leopard. Right? Sometimes you have to connect with the current affairs. Which are the areas, which are the national park where we come with snow leopard. But if you look at concept wise, snow leopard is a genetic diversity of leopard only. It comes within the leopard only there. Same way, I have given example of rhinos. All rhinos are the same species, but again they differ genetically. Size and everything comes into that, right? So that is what. So this is what I have said first, within species. What will be next type of diversity? Between species, right? Next will be here. Number 2. That is a species diversity. Species diversity. That means here we are doing comparison. Here the comparison between species. कहने का मतलब है कि यहाँ पे जो वैज्ञानिक होगा वो क्या करेगा, एक स्पीसीज को दूसरे से कंपेयर करेगा जो कि अलग अलग है, सेम नहीं है. जेनेटिक में क्या होता है, सेम स्पीसीज होता है, उसके अलग अलग वैरायटीज होते हैं, उसको स्टडी किया जाता है. नाउ हियर इफ यू लुक एट बिटवीन हियर, लेट्स से हियर दिस वन which is now making a lot of headline, cat family, particularly big cat family here. So if you look at big cats worldwide, you are aware of, one is Panthera tigris, tiger, then comes a lion, Panthera leo, right? Third we have discussed here, leopard, Panthera unis, the scientific names are there. Then you are aware of that. What will be next one here? Cheetah, right? Then what will come here? Jaguar will be coming here, but cheetah, and then what comes here? This panther. Now you can add, I'll adding here. See, India doesn't have jaguar, and another come puma. Now puma is in North America. North America, let me write here. You'll find in North America. And jaguar, you know, South America. But apart from the remaining one, we have Indian tiger, Royal Bengal tiger, Sundarban Delta and all. We have Asiatic lion, Gir forest, Girnar forest, Gujarat. That is all. And again, you know, UPSC asked the question, India is the only home of Asiatic lion. But when you take other type of lion, African lion, in Africa, but Asiatic lion we have here. Then leopard, I have said, so many type of leopards are there. Cheetah. Now, cheetah has come to India also there. Panther. We have a panther also there. Like Black Panther and all this. Like, I'll give you a good example. For panther, there's one place called Pench. Pench is a tiger reserve in Madhya Pradesh and neighboring state Maharashtra. Also has a Pench. It's also a home of panther. We find panther there. Then, you know, jaguar and puma. They're not native of India, I can say. See, even cheetah used to be there 50s, Indian cheetah. But now we have reintroduced. But if you look at right now, puma and jaguar, we don't have in India. But maybe this international big cat alliance, one day we would also try to, but they have different type of climatic condition. Like for jaguar, you know, the Amazon forest. Tropical, that is the world's biggest tropical rainforest. If you look at, we do have such kind of tropical rainforest in India. So who knows, maybe after a few years, government may decide to resettle this animal also. But ideally speaking, they're non-native. Cheetah we can try. Why? Because cheetah used to be found in India. So that we have tried with cheetah there. But again, the question mark is there, whether this project is rational, whether we should have brought cheetah. Already we have lost Indian cheetah, but what is the rationale behind the having African cheetah to India? And again, the question has raised on the survival extent. But what the expert is saying that with due course of time, these all animals will be able to adapt to the new habitat. So it is just the beginning of the project, right? So what I'm saying here, when you say big cat, we are talking about so many type of species found worldwide, not only India, worldwide. So they are what? Species diversity. Now let me bring here one concept. That's what I'm trying to connect here. See, when you look at biodiversity, normally biodiversity is studied with species. Within species, you have genetic, different types. So they focus on species part. So now let's understand here, in the same concept I'm bringing here, like if any location we want to study, any habitat, so what is something called here, there are two parameters. There are two parameters to study species diversity. Let me bring this concept here. You are aware of it also. आपने कहीं ना कहीं पढ़ा होगा. मैं स्पीसीज डाइवर्सिटी में ही समझा रहा हूँ. एक तो हो गया जेनेटिक हमने पढ़ा, देन कम स्पीसीज. So now I'm coming to species diversity में a scientist, let's say Kanchenjunga or let's say Sundarban, wherever it goes, they look into two aspects here. One is called richness. Species richness. And second, they look into species evenness. Anyone who can distinguish it? What I've done here, I have started the biodiversity topic, definition, 3 levels we are talking. First I gave genetic diversity, within you have. Now I came to species diversity. What is species diversity with example? Now I'm bringing another dimension to it. The scientists in a given area, a forest, grassland, will use these 2 parameters to understand species diversity. One is richness, another evenness. कई बार ये वर्ड आता है कि कोई जगह बायोडाइवर्सिटी रिच है, कोई जगह रिचनेस कम है, तो उसका मतलब व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय दिस वर्ड स्पीसीज रिचनेस? Number of species there. Let's say when you say big cat, just suppose in future Kuno, like right now cheetah is there, let's say in future cheetah, leopard, even tiger, and then we have Asiatic lion also there. There was a proposal. So what will happen there? In the same habitat, Kuno will have 4 different type of cats. That's the kind of, so what has happened? Richness has increased. Richness has increased. So what is simple meaning of richness is that here you have more number of different types of species. अगर किसी जगह पे अलग अलग तरह का, सेम टाइप नहीं, जेनेटिक की बात नहीं हो रही है, स्पीसीज की बात हो रही है, अलग अलग टाइप के स्पीसीज हो, दैट मीन्स अ कॉमन एरिया, कॉमन इकोसिस्टम, and you have different varieties of plants and animals, same area, then we call it as a higher richness. Let's say even same ecosystem, you have tiger, lion, leopard, you have rhinos, you have elephant. You are talking about numbers. We are not talking about whether you have 10 tiger or 100 tigers. You are saying tiger, lion, rhino, elephant, you are talking different species in that particular habitat. But when you come to evenness, evenness is nothing but abundance. What do you call something called abundance? I'll connect 2 words here. It basically looks into, one is this one, abundance of one species. What is evenness here? It looks into first thing abundance. है ना, मतलब अब यहाँ पे क्या आता है कि टाइगर abundant है नहीं, टाइगर ज्यादा है कि नहीं in that area, whether tiger is 10 or 20 or 100, right? That is one. And second thing, what comes to evenness, that is the distribution, geographical distribution of each species. Let me again explain here. See, when you say richness, you are counting different type of species in a given area, whether you have 10 of them or 20 or 100 of them. You're talking different types of species. But when you are talking about evenness, so what you are considering? You are considering each species, its number, that is abundance. whether tiger is 10 or 100, whether elephant is 5 or 50. We're talking each species. And second, what you're talking about? Spatial distribution. In a given area, how many tigers are distributed and where they're located. See, if they're located equally, they're even. If they're not located equally, they're uneven. Suppose in that given area, tiger is only very few. There's only 10 tigers. But you find more elephants. Right? More number of elephants are there. Again, that evenness will change. But let's say same area, 10 tigers, 10 elephant. So both are even. 10 tigers, 10 elephant, both are even there. But let's say only 10 tigers, but 100 elephants, uneven. So you are taking each species and their number. But when you say richness, so what are you talking about richness? You are talking about variety of species, different types. ठीक है? तो ये एक पैरामीटर को याद रखना है. ये क्यों जरूरी है? यूपीएससी में कई बार कीवर्ड यूज होगा. Sometimes UPSC may not ask you definition, but UPSC may sometimes use some keyword in the question. Immediately it should come to your mind कि what is richness? What do you mean by richness word? I'll bring another thing here. Any geographical area or ecosystem, species diversity, that is also studied through 3 parameters, and there may be students who may be aware: alpha, beta, gamma. Alpha diversity, beta diversity, gamma diversity. So anyone, because that's what today class I started with the important topic. Because my concern is, most of you who are going to appear this year exam, where you can solve the question there. Right? Now let's come to this one. So another thing you can write here, when you say species diversity, so we have alpha, beta and gamma. कौन बताएगा? This alpha diversity, beta and diversity, gamma diversity. मुझे लगा कि अभी शुरुआत में 10-20 होंगे, तो फिर पूरा क्लास भर गया. That means you are all coming to on the way. मतलब कहाँ कितने लोग यहीं पास में रहते हैं या दूर से आते हैं? अच्छा, इसीलिए ओके, इसीलिए अच्छा वो ऑनलाइन वहाँ पर है. अच्छा, कल है ऑप्शनल का क्लास PSR का. अच्छा, कुछ तो जाना पहचाना चेहरा भी लग रहा है. इनका चेहरा पहचाना लग रहा है. हाँ, अब कहाँ थे? MP नहीं, मतलब यहीं पर है. कोई और इंस्टीट्यूट में तो नहीं है? कोई नहीं. अच्छा, कई बार चेहरे मिल जाते हैं ना, तो वही इसलिए पूछा कि थोड़ा सा. तो शुरुआत में थोड़ा मैंने डराया आप लोगों को, देखो यूपीएससी क्या है. ठीक है, वो इसलिए ताकि आप लोग लाइन पे रहो, है ना. तो ऐसे डरना नहीं है. ठीक है. एंड बी लेट्स सी आफ्टर द क्लास 10:30, whatever doubts you have, you are all free to ask me. And even the online who are attending right now, Zoom session, you have a Zoom session system, so those are online, they can also ask the doubt. तो वहाँ पे मैं क्लास के बाद I will be here to address all the online doubts. और इसमें ये करना है, हम लोग फूड चेन, फूड वेब वो सब भी पढ़ेंगे. I'll be getting that side also there. But what I'm trying to do is that I'm starting from a topic which is first very common, because food chain, food web or other ecological concept you understand, but if you know certain basic thing about biodiversity, then you will be able to connect with that. And again, current affairs you don't have to worry, you all will be coming to QEP program. तो that time यहाँ पे जहाँ जहाँ टॉपिक के साथ होगा मैं बताता जाऊंगा, बट उस समय हम लोग डिटेल ओनली करंट अफेयर्स ही होगा. जैसे मैंने बताया कि जो चीजें अनटच्ड है, ठीक है, those areas are untouched area. My task is that to bring them out, right? तो वही मैं हर बार कहता हूँ कि मेरी याद आएगी, रिमेंबर में. और एक चीज मैं कहता हूँ, क्या कब मैं कहता हूँ, काली रात, 26 मई की रात. तो वहां पर वो चीज है, राइट. 25 में नहीं, प्रीलिम्स का डेट कौन सा है? 26 में ना. हाँ, 25 मई काली रात, 25 मई की काली रात होगी. ठीक है, 26 भी काली रात होगी, वो डिपेंड करता है एग्जाम का क्या है. लेकिन हाँ, मैं ये चाहता हूँ कि आप लोगों की काली रात ना हो, मतलब है ना, उस दिन का यू आर ऑल रिलैक्स देयर. अच्छा, जोक के लिए मुझे हिंदी बीच में बोलना ही पड़ेगा. दोज हु आर फ्रॉम साउथ, प्लीज पार्डन मी इफ सम टाइम, बट यू आर एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड, राइट? पीपल इन कर्नाटका, दे नो हिंदी वेरी वेल. Even they're also there, right? Little bit, you are able to understand? No, don't worry. Whenever I crack joke in Hindi, I'll translate in English also there. All right? Then you'll be able to understand that. Right? No, that's what I asked them. You know, सबका साथ सबका विकास. Right? That's what one has to take into account. हाँ ठीक है, तो इसलिए मैंने पूछा यहाँ पर. तो नहीं, he was very पूरा वो हुड करके पूरा मुझे लग रहा है कि अरे इसी की वजह से थे वो, क्योंकि अभी पूरा ढका हुआ है ना, इसलिए वार्मिंग हो रहा है. डोंट वरी दैट, उसको हम लोग कंट्रोल कर लेंगे. अच्छा ठीक है. अल्फा बीटा गामा, हु विल टेल मी अल्फा बीटा गामा? अरे ऐसा कैसे हो गया? अल्फा बीटा गामा, हाँ ठीक है. बीटा में ठीक है, ठीक है. ओके ओके, ठीक है. Okay, let's do one thing. I'll get back to here. Let me draw a diagram here. Suppose let's take, for example, I take Kuno National Park. Just an example. I'm giving a hypothetical example. Suppose, then you understand what is alpha, beta, gamma. We take an entire Kuno National Park in MP, and then we divide areas there. Let's say these are 3 areas. Right? Scientists take the entire Kuno, divide into that. Suppose in Kuno, where cheetah has been brought, African cheetah is there, right? You also have leopard also there. Suppose that's a hypothetical example. Other area there is no cheetah, but you have a leopard, right? You have a like the spotted deer. Let's keep here spotted deer also, because both are carnivore. They would also require food. They would also require food. है ना? अरबी बहुत सही है ना, ये तो survive नहीं करेगा. So let's say deer is also there, but here leopard and spotted deer is only. Right? One carnivore and one herbivore is there. Another part we find here. Let's say we have something tiger also there. Just hypothetical tiger. We have leopard. Then cheetah. Right? And then you have a spotted deer. Very simple example I am giving there. See, when you take each place, suppose this is a habitat number 1, one physical habitat. So what we find here, in one, we come across cheetah, leopard, spotted deer. 3 species are there. First has got cheetah, leopard, and deer. 3 species are there. Now if we take second, number 2, we come across 2 species. Leopard and spotted deer. And where is the third one? Third habitat. We find 4 of them. So if we do the comparison, अगर richness की बात करें, तो 3 is more than 1 more than 2. अगर richness की बात करें, what is richness? Different types. So 3 has got more number of species. Then 1 has got 3, and second has got only 2. But each of the habitats, see here, this is called alpha. What is alpha? Every habitat. हर habitat का अपना diversity. Diversity of each habitat is the alpha. So I've drawn the diagram here. So if you take each habitat within the geographical landscape, what is geographical landscape? Kuno. Kuno geographical landscape. We have taken 3 habitats. If we take one habitat, within that habitat, what is the richness? 3, 4, 5, whatever richness is there. So that is alpha. Alpha of first is what? 3. Alpha of second, 2. And alpha of third, 4. ठीक है? Now suppose beta. What is beta? Now you take 2 habitats. Suppose habitat number 1 plus habitat number 2. Suppose 1 and 2. We combine them. तो क्या इसका richness होगा? Tell me richness here. If you combine 1 and 2, तो what will be richness here? अब आपने क्या किया? एक habitat जगह 2 habitat ले लिया. तो what is diversity? Different type of species. So which are different type of species? Cheetah, leopard, spotted deer. बस. अगर हम दोनों को combine कर ले, तो हमें कितने तरह का species मिलता है? Cheetah, leopard, and spotted deer. So what is this one? 3. Now if I ask you, if you combine 2, this is 2 here and this third. If we combine two with the third, now tell me what is the diversity here? 2 and third. If we combine second and the third, leopard, spotted deer, tiger, and cheetah. So how much will be there? 4. And if we combine 1 and 3, 1 and 3, तो कितना आएगा इसमें? If we take 1 and 3, how many species are there? 1 and 3. Again the 4. Cheetah, leopard, spotted deer, and tiger. Again you get 4. So this is called beta. What is beta? When you take 2 habitats, not a single. See, if you take one single habitat, alpha. But if you take 2 of them, is a beta. So this is beta. This is also beta. And this is also beta. That depends on how many habitats are there. Correct? So now comes the gamma. What is gamma? Gamma is the total. What is total here? How many habitats are there? How many habitats are? 3 habitats. तो टोटल हैबिटेट्स कितने तरह के स्पीसीज डाइवर्सिटी है? 4 टाइप्स है. अगर हम सभी हैबिटेट को मिला दें, सबको मिला के रख दें और वहां देखें कितना डाइवर्सिटी है, तो how many species will come across? Leopard, spotted deer, tiger, and the cheetah. So here will be 4. So what is gamma? 4. What is gamma? Total diversity of that area. That's called gamma. मैं फिर समझा रहा हूं. अगर हम किसी भी लैंडस्केप में एक हैबिटेट को लें तो अल्फा हो गया, 2 को हम ले तो बीटा हो गया, और सभी को ले गामा होगा. बस सिंपल चीज. इफ वी टेक वन सिंगल हैबिटेट, अल्फा. इफ वी टेक 2 हैबिटेट्स, वी गेट बीटा. एंड वी टेक ऑल हैबिटेट्स, वी कम अक्रॉस गामा. दैट इज डिपेंड्स ऑन दैट लैंडस्केप. इफ इट इज सुंदरबन में हैव मोर डाइवर्सिटी देन कुनो. इफ वी कंपेयर सुंदरबन, बिकॉज सुंदरबन इज मैंग्रोव फॉरेस्ट which may support more biodiversity as compared to Kuno. Kuno is more dry area, semi-arid area. I know. If we compare Sundarban with Western Ghats, Nilgiri, so Nilgiri may have more higher diversity than Sundarban. So what scientists do? They make the comparison. They do the comparison there, right? So what I'll do here, I have given this example. So shall I go back to that flow chart? So I'll put across the point here. Alpha, that is what is alpha here? Yes, diversity of one habitat here. Diversity of 2 habitats here. Or simply I can write between 2 habitats. And gamma is the diversity of all habitats. सिंपल थिंग हियर. हाँ, डिफरेंस कि क्या क्या डिफरेंस है, कितने तरह के अलग अलग स्पीसीज है वहां पर, उनको हम लोग अकाउंट लेते हैं. सो व्हाट इज माय पॉइंट इज दैट लेट्स से व्हिच एवर टॉपिक आई टेक इन द क्लास, so those basic thing, and you can do one thing is that you can make best use of the classroom of learning those concepts. So let's say if in case, suppose that if any question comes on this one, you are aware of it, you know what is the part of it, right? What is alpha, what is beta, what is gamma, you are thoroughly aware of this, and I have given the example also there, right? So I'll again return back. I have given definition of biodiversity, and we are discussing 3. First, genetic within species. Second, species diversity, and within species diversity I have mentioned parameters: richness, evenness, alpha, beta, gamma, right? Now we'll come to the third level. What is third level? Ecosystem diversity, where we go to the bigger level there, right? Higher level there. So all I've written this one, you are able to copy there. So anywhere, what I'll try, because people at the back, because of podium, it might have problem there. So I'll try to just keep it upward only. ठीक है, यहाँ तक ठीक है. आप लोग ये मैं एक बार रेज कर लेता हूँ. Up till here is all right. People at the back, you know. So I'll not go at the bottom because otherwise there will be difficulty in seeing the part of it. Online तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं. Online तो camera is there, they are able to see everything there, right? Now let's look at here. Let me get back to the next one here. So now we are coming third one, ecosystem diversity. Right, ecological system diversity. Now, what is ecological system diversity? Here, we are taking species diversity. Found in different ecosystems. Suppose, let's say, for example, we compare tropical rainforest right, so this we are comparing tropical rainforest with, let's say, temperate forest. See, species will be found in both the type of forest, but their diversity may change. सबसे ज़्यादा most abundant form of life they are found in a tropical climate. Like when you talk about Amazon forest, or we take Western Ghats of India, tropical rainforest, they support more types of trees, plants, even amphibians, reptiles, mammals, birds. स्पीसीज का डाइवर्सिटी ज्यादा होता है. ठीक है, एक बार क्वेश्चन आया था कोरल रीफ के बारे में. सी कोरल रीफ यू लुक एट इज अ मराइन एरिया. सो मराइन एरिया यू नॉट कम अक्रॉस प्लांट स्पीसीज. यस, यू विल फाइंड एनिमल विल बी मोर. जो बोलते हैं ना फाउना, राइट, दैट विल मोर. बट इफ यू टॉक अबाउट रेन फॉरेस्ट विल हैव फ्लोरा एज वेल एज फाउना. सो इफ यू लुक एट ओवरऑल diversity worldwide, highest will be rainforest. But if you take coral reef, animal phyla bolte hain, animal diversity. Always remember that if you take a diversity of animal world, ocean has got a rich one. है ना, वो बोलते हैं कई बार vertebrate, invertebrate, biology part. And many of the invertebrates, what is invertebrate? Which are not having the backbone and all this. They are a part of ocean there. right? स्पॉन्ज वगैरह जो होते हैं, बाकी सारी चीजें तो वहां पर आता है. लेकिन हम अगर पूरी बात करें प्लांट एनिमल बोथ, फ्लोरा फौना एवरीथिंग, देन रेन फॉरेस्ट हैज मोर. इवन ट्रॉपिकल रेन फॉरेस्ट रिच इन इंसेक्ट varieties. They have got more type of thing there. So we make a comparison of here ecosystem. ठीक है, we are making that. अब मैं एक बहुत अच्छा कॉन्सेप्ट बता रहा हूँ इसमें, और कई बार क्वेश्चन आता भी है, मेनी टाइम्स क्वेश्चन आर आस्क्ड. हॉटस्पॉट, बायोडाइवर्सिटी हॉटस्पॉट कॉन्सेप्ट. देखो, आई एम लिंकिंग द कॉन्सेप्ट. आई एम लिंकिंग द कॉन्सेप्ट जेनेटिक डाइवर्सिटी, जीन, स्पीसीज, मेजरमेंट, इकोसिस्टम, लार्ज एरिया. Now I am coming to the concept of hotspot. Again, hotspot linked with richness, species richness. So now what comes here? You can give a title here: biodiversity hotspots. And if you go back to the question paper, you'll find so many times UPSC has asked question on hotspots. And even sometimes what UPSC does, नॉट डायरेक्ट, इनडायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन है ना. डायरेक्ट की जगह इनडायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन भी आता है कई बार जो. तो नाउ टेल मी whoever have read here in the classroom aware of this concept, then I'll add in a infographic. I'll make an infographic, all the point in the same chart, so that you are able to read and revise before the exam. So just normal discussion है ना. ऑफलाइन का यही तो फायदा है कि you can interact with the teacher. ऑनलाइन तो वो जूम वाले करेंगे बाद में, राइट. हाँ, टेल मी क्या क्या चीजें पता है, what all things you know about this concept of hotspot, whatever basic thing you are aware. Okay, diversity of species, all right. Okay, yes, tell me, you would have read somewhere. Correct, that is very true. That has more diversity but has been affected because of the human development. Lost, they've been lost of species. See, this concept came into highlight because of looking into threat, human development and threat. Like if you take Western Ghats of India, right? Western Ghats of India has very high level diversity, but problem is that mining, hydropower, infrastructure, all those developments are there, and we are losing the forest. Many of the forests of Western Ghats, we are losing slowly there. So that's what comes. So I'll bring here. The first thing is that when we look into this concept, let me go with every point here, key points here. First is that who is the person behind it? Not very important for exam, but just as your background information. UPSC will not ask the name of the scientist, right? Just for your understanding part, Norman Mayers, right? He is the person behind this concept of hotspot. Dr. Norman Mayers, he gave this concept in 1988. I put in a bracket there. Which year? 1988. Again, not very important for prelims point of view, but just as a background. In 1988, this scientist, he's a British environmentalist. A British environmentalist who gave this concept of, he coined the word hotspot. He gave the concept here. Now, based on his concept, now what I'm writing here, there's a non-government organization called Conservation International. CI. Many times in prelims exam, organizations are question asked. So there's an organization called CI, Conservation International. Now this organization was formed in 1989. So that means now you have a fact. What is the fact here? CIE is the organization at the global level which work for hotspot. Right? Hotspot concept is good. Now what comes the second thing here? Second thing comes here. What is a hotspot? What basically mean by hotspot? So here hotspot, so as you have said that they are rich in biodiversity. So here first term comes here, biogeographic. Biogeographic region. What does that mean? It may be one country, or it can be more than one countries. Right? Either it will be one single country within that country, or sometime it may be neighboring countries also. So biogeographic region. I've written here. I'll give you example. Single country or more than one country, will see the example. Now, what is another thing? This region, Arbor, it is said that more than 50% of Earth's biodiversity, global biodiversity, are in these hotspots. That if we take all these hotspots, Earth's more than 50% of flora and fauna are found there. So what is here? They are extremely rich in species diversity. They are extremely rich in species diversity. That is more abundance, more varieties of species are there. Now what comes the next one here? Next one comes, it has to satisfy two strict criteria. Not every place will be called as a hotspot. Not every place will be declared as a hotspot. It has to meet two conditions. The first condition here, number one, that is called endemism. High level of endemism. Now, what do you mean by endemism? Only found there, nowhere else. Endemic का मतलब होता है स्थानिक, केवल उसी स्थान में होगा और कहीं नहीं होगा. Only found in that area, nowhere else. Even maybe endemic to that country only. May not be any other country in the world. May have that plant or animal. So here the condition says that at least, now look at here. Although endemism will be of animals also there, but the criteria talks about plant. So at least that will minimum 1,500. I'll underline this number, 1,500 minimum. It can be more than that, but should not be less than. Remember that, should not be less than 1,500. It has to be more than 1,500. So at least minimum 1,500. Another very important word is vascular. Right? Vascular plants are endemic. See, every keyword you have to notice. Minimum 1500. And what type of plants? Vascular plants. Not all type of plants should be endemic. Now the question, what do you mean by vascular plant? Right? Any idea what is vascular plant? See, plant kingdom is again very diversified. It's very vast. Right? Plant kingdom is very, very vast. These are those plants which have well developed roots and stem. These are mostly well developed type of plants, land plants and water, aquatic plants, terrestrial one. See, if you talk about plant, fern is also plant, fern. Right? These are they are smaller plants. They also have roots, but they may not have stem and branch. Right? So in the plant kingdom, these are those plants which contain, I'll now give a biological word, xylem and phloem. If you remember school days, xylem is a tissue, what is called conducting tissue. Where do you find xylem tissue? Roots of the plant. What it conduct? Water with mineral. And then another phloem. So where do you find phloem tissue? That is the leaf, stem, branches. What it conducts? Food, carbohydrate, glucose. So not every plant on this earth, right, all are not there. There's those type of plants which have got well developed type of conducting tissues. Whether it may be herb, remember that. It may be herb, maybe shrub, maybe tall trees, but must have xylem and phloem. अगर उसका xylem phloem है, connecting tissues है, उसको काउंट किया जाता है. मतलब कहने का मतलब है, अगर आप किसी एरिया गए, वहां बहुत सारे प्लांट्स हैं, तो वहां वो साइंटिस्ट क्या देखेगा, किसका xylem phloem है, और वो भी अलग अलग टाइप के, सेम टाइप नहीं. दैट मीन्स those type of plant species, you're talking about species, they will count how many different type of plant species. And again, what is second thing? Only found there, not anywhere else. ऐसा नहीं कि वो यहाँ भी है, चाइना में भी है, जापान में भी है, and other South Asian countries, वहां भी नहीं है, only India, nowhere else. And another thing is what? They must have xylem and phloem. And another third thing is what? Minimum 1500. Should be more than 1500. So these are very strict criteria. Now what he has said, that I'm coming here. So what is second point here, number 2? Threatened. They are threatened by human development. So what is threatened here means? Again there is a criteria. More than 70% habitat loss. So I'll write it here. मैं थोड़ा ऊपर ले जाता हूं, then I'll bring it down here. More than 70% loss of original vegetation. More than 70% loss of original vegetation. So I'll underline this word, 70%. And what is here? Vegetation. Again you see trees and plants. कहने का मतलब है उस जगह पे अब तक में 70% से ज्यादा जो वहां का फॉरेस्ट एरिया था या जो वेजिटेशन वो खत्म हो चुका है. तो हाउ मच रिमेनिंग? लेस देन 30%. More than 70% lost. So again remember that both criteria have to satisfy together. Both have to satisfy together. It's not either one. Both have to be satisfied. Then only we can declare hotspot. So now this is the where condition comes. Now comes here. Yes, loss will be very important one. These loss are not natural one. You know, sometimes I'll give a very good example. What he has brought. Sometimes, you know, wildfire, forest fire, right? You know, global warming impact. These laws are counted like mining, hydropower, sometimes, you know, deforestation, human development. That will lead to that one. Although, you know, forest can be affected because of flood, natural calamity, forest fire. They're not counting that. That means that area has lost because significantly because of human aspect there. Like I've given you example, Western Ghats. We have lost much of the, even forest areas, patch, we have been losing that. Now what comes here, I'll just slightly bring it down here. Same flow chart. I'll come to this one. This area here. So India, if you write one sentence, India has 4 hotspots out of 36 global hotspots. That means if we take 36 worldwide, but again remember that, see, national park, sanctuary, Ramsar site, hotspot, these all numbers are changeable. I've written the name of organization. Maybe that organization may declare some new, but as of now, 36 are there, right? Out of 36, India has still got 4. But I'll tell you that sometime when you do Google search, the Hindu paper, you'll come with 6 name. So when Hindu paper reporting their 6, so these are not officially confirmed. We use official. Sometime when you search, we have Wikipedia also. Something which is officially declared, something under pipeline may be considered. So right now, official declaration of 4 hotspot here. The first I have mentioned that this Western Ghats, and you all know that Western Ghats start from border of Gujarat, just border of Gujarat with Maharashtra. Main states are Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, but we also include Gujarat, border area. The total 6 are there, right? How 6 are there? Some part of Gujarat. I'll give you a very good example. Let's say when you go to Mumbai, and from Mumbai you are going towards Surat, you know, Daman and all this comes, Palghar and all this, right? Like for example, western side, particularly western side. I'll give you a good example. If you have been to Mumbai, there's a place called Borivali, and Borivali has got Sanjay Gandhi National Park. It's a very important park, Sanjay Gandhi National Park. There's a part of Borivali is now well suburban, you know, suburban developed. Borivali National Park, that Sanjay Gandhi National Park, is a part of Western Ghat landscape. Like leopard and all, you'll find that. There's a part of Western Ghat landscape. You know, there was something RA colony, and there was a proposal to cut trees for metro project, and there was a protest where thousands of trees will be going to be cut, but then it was, so that area is again Western Ghat. Now, Borivali, you'll find there Mira Road, Bhayandar, then you have Nala Sopara, Virar. There's a part of again Maharashtra. Then as you go further ahead on the same line, you'll come to Palghar, Tarapur. The Tarapur is a atomic power station. There's a Bark, Bhabha Atomic Research Center. As you cross Tarapur, you'll come across Daman. You know, Daman and Diu and all this. And from there you'll reach to Surat. So that area, Daman, Surat, is a part of again adjoining to Western Ghats. Where the Maharashtra ends, Gujarat starts. हाँ, उधर ही है, वेस्टर्न घाट्स में आता है, बिल्कुल. ताडोबा अंधारी है ना, उसका पूरा नाम है ताडोबा वगैरह. एंड ताडोबा इज ऑल्सो नोन फॉर टाइगर्स, इज अ टाइगर रिजर्व ऑफ महाराष्ट्र. तो वेस्टर्न घाट इज अ वेरी बिग एरिया, है ना. वेस्टर्न घाट इज अ वेरी बिग एरिया. तो लेकिन ये याद रखना है, 5 स्टेट नहीं है, 6 है. गुजरात को भी कुछ पार्ट हम काउंट करते हैं, ठीक है. तो 6 स्टेट्स कम हियर, बट विच आर मेन वन? महाराष्ट्र, गोवा, तमिलनाडु, कर्नाटक एंड केरल. दीज आर मेन वन, राइट. नाउ कम्स हियर सेकंड, हिमालय. सी मेनी ऑफ टाइम्स बुक्स में जो होते हैं, दे हैव नॉट अपडेटेड. बहुत सारी किताब में आप देखें ईस्टर्न हिमालय लिखा होगा, बट नाउ इट इज बोथ वेस्टर्न एंड ईस्टर्न. अब जैसे वेस्टर्न में लद्दाख, जम्मू एंड कश्मीर, उत्तराखंड, हिमाचल प्रदेश, और ईस्टर्न में सिक्किम एंड अरुणाचल प्रदेश. We have those many areas are coming. So entire Himalaya, that will become the part of it. Then coming to here, third one is a very important place, Indo-Burma. The Indo-Burma, and I've said here, na, if you look at one country, if you look at, right, and then I say many countries. Like when you say Indo-Burma, Northeast India, that part, and then Burma is what? Myanmar, then which country comes near to Myanmar? Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, Thailand. तो पूरा का पूरा एरिया है, और ये इतना बड़ा एरिया है, इवन इट इंक्लूड द अंडमान. वी हैव अंडमान आइलैंड्स. अंडमान also comes under Indo-Burma. That is, there is large area covers there. Now when you say Himalaya, again many countries means Himalaya is the part of India also, Bhutan, China also comes, and also comes a part of Pakistan also. कहाँ पाकिस्तान का पार्ट आएगा? जब ऊपर हम जाते हैं करगिल एंड ऑल दिस, और जो पीओके पार्ट में हिंदू कुश बोलते हैं ना, Hindu Kush Himalayas. That is part called Pamir Note, Pamir Note and all this. So again, the part of Himalayan range comes. See, Himalaya, we should not think only greater and middle and Shivalik. Himalaya comes trans-Himalaya. There's a part of Ladakh and that area. And again, LAC part comes to the China part, Tibet and all this area. Again, many of the countries come into that, right? Then if you look at Indo-Burma, I have said Southeast Asia and India, Northeastern. And the fourth one, which again becomes important of Nicobar kind of thing, Sunda land. Sunda land. Now what is Sunda land? Sunda land is a part of Java. Sunda एक जगह है, जब आप ज्योग्राफी में मैपिंग करेंगे, सुंडा स्ट्रेट बोलते हैं, स्ट्रेट, STRAIT, पैसेज होता है ना, सुंडा स्ट्रेट, जावा, सुमात्रा, and that area extend to Nicobar. Like you know that our southernmost island is Great Nicobar. Nicobar is Car Nicobar, Great Nicobar. So the Nicobar comes under the biogeographic area of the Sunda land. Now why government want to develop that Great Nicobar? Because that link to that part, Indonesia, Malaysia, Java. तो उसका दो इंपॉर्टेंस आता है, एक है maritime, bulk of the cargo ship that goes there, and second is a strategic defense, because now the presence of China, China is getting very much aggressive there. So that is strategic part. But what is the negative part? Negative part, two things. One is environment, and second is the social. The tribe. Which tribes are there in Nicobar? Shompen. Shompen tribe. Jaraba is in Andaman. Nicobar I'm saying. Nicobar is, Centenarians बोलते हैं, Centenarians and Shompen, ये सब tribe है. तो वहां पर वो concern आ रहा है कि उनका जो displacement होगा, when you have a project, what you will have? You will displace the area. Any development, what will happen? Wherever you do the development, the local community has to be displaced. So one concern is that. And recently, Draupadi Murmu, jo hai, our president, has gone to Nicobar. What is the reason for going her to the Nicobar? To pacify people who are scared, to pacify them. Ki wahan par government will take care of your things. That's what she visited. And again, you know that Andaman Nicobar is a union territory. You don't have any chief minister or something. And you all know that union territory comes under whose control? Central government. And for that, central government appoint what? Lieutenant governor, no? There's some post is there, no? Governor. For Andaman Nicobar, again, governor will report to whom? President. See, this is how you have to connect there. Why president has gone there? Because the local people were protesting of the project. So what is one thing is that their fear, that they will lose their livelihood, they will lose their land. There's a fear is there. Same happens in main part of India also. Same concern is there. And second is that mangrove, coral reef, dugong, involved part of it. But what is the other positive side? Strategic defense, naval defense. And second, economic, maritime trade. That is what becomes very important. And again, remember that when you talk about piracy, piracy, maritime piracy. So one piracy will come in Somalia, Red Sea. But again, you should remember, there is also a lot of piracy in this area, Sunda Strait, Java. और ये एरिया और खतरनाक है. क्यों खतरनाक पता है? बहुत नैरो है. रेड सी तो कभी फिर भी बड़ा है. रेड सी इज लिंक टू इंडियन ओशन. तो वहां जो शिप है उसको भागने का बहुत सारा रास्ता है, बिकॉज यू हैव ओपन एरिया. बट इफ यू कम टू दिस पार्ट, जावा सुमात्रा इज वेरी नैरो. तो अगर वहां हाईजैक, समटाइम व्हाट दे डू पायरेट्स, दे हाईजैक द शिप फॉर रैंसम. So there is very narrow escape for the ships. And sometimes what India does, India also provide naval security to other countries. You know that? Like even in Indian Ocean, we send our naval ship for security of the Indian Ocean. They bolte hain RIM country, bolte hain IOR RIM, Indian Ocean RIM, where India gives the support, naval defense. Same thing will happen with Southeast Asia. Now you can connect with IR, your PSR subject by ASEAN, India and ASEAN. What is ASEAN? Association of South Asia, and India is one of the partner. As a one block is ASEAN. ASEAN is a block, but India has a collaboration with them. So let's say security part of that area, India can send the naval ships. Let's say if there is any emergency, so that could be easily deployed. So that's why Great Nicobar becomes a strategically important project, the redevelopment part. But what I said, where the UPSC can ask a question about the biodiversity of that area, what environmental aspect will be there. So I have brought this. This is what hotspot, and hotspot is what endemism, species there, more there. So now this map which I've drawn, now this infograph, you have all the main points. In one place you get all the main points. So this you have to keep at the basic theory. But again, the current affairs we'll discuss in QEP class. निकोबार में कौन कौन सा species है, क्या news में आया है. So then we will connect the current affairs there. So there I don't have to teach you what is hotspot, because now you know what is hotspot. Correct? So this part comes into. So we have discussed the genetic diversity, species diversity, and ecosystem diversity. And there I mentioned the part of hotspot. Right? Now let's come to the next one here. See, when we come across biodiversity, values, or I mean to say importance. Very simple thing. Now tell me, why we need to protect animals and plants? नॉर्मल बच्चों को भी क्लास 8 9 में पढ़ाया जाता है, उनके EVS के बुक में बायोडाइवर्सिटी इंपॉर्टेंस. यहाँ बहुत सारे बच्चे हैं पोस्ट 90s बर्थ, है ना, ये भी बच्चा लग रहा है. व्हाट इज योर डेट ऑफ बर्थ? लड़कियों से नहीं पूछना चाहिए, लड़कों से पूछ सकते हैं. He is a millennium boy is there. He is born in the millennium there. पक्का 2000 में 1 जनवरी तो नहीं which month? 13 अक्टूबर. इसका बर्थडे याद रखना, केक पे काटना पड़ेगा, राइट? 13 अक्टूबर. सो ओके, आई एम आस्किंग द क्वेश्चन. स्कूल में पढ़ा था EVS इन्वर्टर साइंस वहां होता है ना, वो बायो से पढ़ाया जाता है. अच्छा कौन बताएगा? सिंपल है, इट्स वेरी सिंपल थिंग. It's a very simple thing. Now tell me here. Yes, I'll again make a flow chart here. What is first importance of biodiversity? Why we need plants and animals? First important thing. Very simple thing here. Economic values, right? Food. We get food from where? Crops. Rice, wheat, jawar, bajra, all these are food, na? Vegetables. They are the part of what we call it here. We say agricultural biodiversity. Where agricultural we have so many types, right? अगर वो नहीं होता तो हमें फूड सिक्योरिटी नहीं होता. आज हमारे पास डाइवर्सिटी है ना, चलो ठीक, ये नहीं मिला तो ये खा लिया, हमारे पास ये ऑप्शन है ना. भी इमेजिन कि बहुत लिमिटेड ऑप्शन होते हैं, तो इट वुड हैव बीन बिग प्रॉब्लम फॉर मैनकाइंड. So food is one thing. Then you are aware of this one. Medicines. Different type of medicines, right? Even the plants, you know, medicinal plants. अभी आजकल हम लोग importance दे रहे हैं ना संजीवनी, kind of what is संजीवनी? Such MPAs, medicinal plants areas. You know, wherever such medicinal plants are there. So that is where the medicine comes. Then you are aware timber, different type of timber. I mean to say raw materials, whatever raw materials we get, timber, lakdi, like you know, teak is one variety. Then mahogany, shisham, वो जितने भी है, जितने different type जो साल, you know, Torreya robusta. So we have different type of tree varieties. What we get from there. So that is economic value. I'll also add one more area here, which you all know that. Which is now very important. And nowadays, what is coming? Sustainable tourism. We need tourism, but the tourism has to be sustainable. It should not affect the species of that area. उनको problem नहीं आना चाहिए. Ecotourism again is a part. People go to such safaris. कई बार आपको पता है, people go for mountaineering, trekking. Again linked with that. So economic values are linked with that. And why tourism becomes economic? Because you know, local people who live around that area, livelihood, है ना, उनके आजीविका वो डिपेंड करता है टूरिज्म पे. That part comes. Then you are aware. Second thing is what this one. I'll bring here this one, ecosystem. जो ecological values है यहाँ पर. What is ecological values here? Like here, no balance. ecological balance in the nature, that is by plants and animals. हम लोग क्लास में पढ़ेंगे फूड चेन, फूड वेब वगैरह जो है. फूड वेब क्या है? अगेन डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ herbivores, carnivores and all this kind is there. वो बैलेंस अगर नहीं रहेगा तो पूरा इकोसिस्टम खत्म हो जाएगा. फिर यहाँ क्या होता है इसके अलावा जो है, यू नो दिस प्रिवेंशन ऑफ इरोजन, जो इरोजन के प्रॉब्लम्स होते हैं, प्लांट्स, ट्रीज, देन यू नो फ्लड कंट्रोल, फ्लड एंड ड्रॉट कंट्रोल. कई बार पेस्ट कंट्रोल भी होता है, ट्रीज एंड प्लांट. लाइक आई विल गिव वेरी गुड एग्जांपल, नीम हैज गॉट पेस्टिसाइडल इफेक्ट. So all these are ecological function. I can give many examples, like you know we'll cover in the classroom wetlands. Wetland purify water, पानी को साफ करता है. Why? Because aquatic plants होते हैं, they're able to clean the water. Again, that is ecological function, right? Another thing which we can say here, this one, aesthetic and recreational values there. Aesthetic and recreational values. Who can tell me? Aesthetic, सौंदर्यता, सुंदर है ना, ये वो होता है ना, कुछ लोग देखने में सुंदर लगते हैं और कुछ लोग क्या है, देखने में सुंदर नहीं लगते हैं. ठीक है, तो वो डिपेंड करता है परसेप्शन, कि आपका परसेप्शन क्या है. कुछ लोगों को गोरे लोग पसंद हो जाते हैं, कुछ लोग काले लोग पसंद होते हैं. वो डिपेंड करता है परसेप्शन, राइट. स्किन डजंट मैटर, राइट, कलर ऑफ स्किन डजंट मैटर, दैट इज पार्ट ऑफ देम. तो नेचर में भी ऐसा ही है. टाइगर में भी वेरी ब्यूटीफुल एनिमल, राइट. राइनोसरस में भी वेरी नो क्यूट एनिमल, वैसे क्यूट एनिमल. दूसरे को क्या होगा, बेकार है, कैसा देखने में लगता है राइनोसरस, राइट. एलिफेंट. So that aesthetic nature is linked with animals and plants. What is recreational? Tourism. So I'll give you certain examples here. Let's look at first example, is very important, literature. Literature inspired from nature. Every language, whether it's Hindi or English or Urdu or you take French, Spanish, even Indian language, Telugu, Tamil, whatever language take, सब में है. कहीं ना कहीं होता है ना पोएम, शॉर्ट स्टोरीज होते हैं वहां पर. ठीक है, अब मुझे बताओ हिंदी कोई बताओ कहानी इन स्टोरी, साहित्य, हिंदी साहित्य. नाउ लेट मी आस्क, जो नेचर से जुड़ा हुआ कहानी हो, जहां नेचर के बारे में डिस्क्रिप्शन हो. मछली जल की रानी हो. गुड, वेरी गुड. मछली जल की रानी है, जीवन इसका पानी है. हाथ लगाओ डर जाएगी, बाहर निकालो मर जाएगी. सबसे फेमस वहां पर है. बचपन से सिखाया था राइम्स मछली को जो है. फिर वो भालू वाला, भालू को भी सिखाते हैं कि भालू वाला नाच, भालू नाच. दैट इज पार्ट ऑफ द, so that is what you know, but again story, if you look at you can think of a story, there may be some Hindi story linked with. अच्छा ठीक है, मैं एक बात, प्रेमचंद की कहानियां, कहीं ना कहीं जो ऐसे साहित्यकार होते हैं, कहीं ना कहीं नेचर का कुछ पार्ट तो होता है, समथिंग दे विल राइट अबाउट दैट. महादेवी वर्मा है ना, वहां पर भी है उसमें. तो यू विल फाइंड एक इसमें भी बहुत, आई डोंट नो हु इज द पोएट, बट यू कैन फाइंड आउट. खड़ा हिमालय बता रहा, जरूर आंधीपन, किससे है वो, निराला का है या रामधारी सिंह दिनकर का है, बट दैट्स काइंड ऑफ थिंग देयर. मैं और बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एक कविता बताता हूँ जो कि नेचर से जुड़ा हुआ है. सतपुड़ा के घने जंगल में, सतपुड़ा के घने जंगल में. कहाँ, कौन सा सतपुड़ा की बात हो रही है, कहाँ है सतपुड़ा? मध्य प्रदेश में. एंड वी स्टडी इन द क्लासरूम अबाउट बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व पचमढ़ी. पंचमढ़ी बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व ऑफ होशंगाबाद एरिया है वो, है ना, पंचमढ़ी जो बोलते हैं. तो वहां पर क्या है, वो सतपुड़ा का फॉरेस्ट है, सतपुड़ा टाइगर रिजर्व. एंड यू नो दैट इन ज्योग्राफी स्टडी सतपुड़ा एंड विंध्या, two mountain ranges are there out of that, है ना, कविता उसमें. now English, you know that, like for example Jungle Book, Mowgli, that is inspired from nature, है ना. वहां पर yes, which one Tarzan. Right, many are there. Then even you will find William Wordsworth and all this has come into that. Telugu, tell me Telugu, any story? poem, any name you can say, any name you comes to mind, which was studied in school days and something. Huh? And he is not able to recollect there. It is in all languages. I'm telling you, all languages have got those kind of stories there. So that is where literature get inspired. Like, you know, Rabindranath Tagore, Bengali. उसमें जैसे काबुली वाला, no, it's a very popular story, काबुली वाला. उसमें एक आता है गोरा. आप देखो जितने भी रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर के स्टोरीज हैं, वेरी क्लोज टू नेचर है. वो डिस्क्रिप्शन आता है ना, चोखेर बाली. All these are, you know, written by Rabindranath Tagore there. You'll find that one. Right? So any kind of literature getting inspired from nature. That comes. Then you know this one. Today's time, this one, cinematography. अरे आजकल किसका जमाना है? OTT अभी चल रहा है, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. पोचर, पता है पोचर किसमें है? बताओ पोचर. मैं कैसे अमेजोन, हाँ अमेजोन प्राइम में चल रहा है. पोचर, यू नो पोचर इज this is a very true story about elephant poaching in Kerala, and you are aware of this name Periyar Tiger Reserve, that area. 2015 case of illegal hunting or poaching of elephant for ivory trade. You are aware that earlier Virappan, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka border, used to be the part of that sandalwood smuggler and also the poaching part. But again, this story of poacher, this web series, that is based on the 2015 Kerala poaching case. That is inspired there, right? और बताओ फिल्मों में कौन सा आजकल इन्वायरमेंट फिल्में बन रही है? पुष्पा. ये है ना, और एक ये है. वो ऐसा क्यों डांस कर रहे थे? ऐसा करके जा रहे हैं, ऐसा चप्पल खुल गया उनका, फिर वो चप्पल पहन रहे हैं वहां पर. Allu Arjun is your favorite star? Right, his favorite star. When the second series is coming, I am waiting for that. Pushpa 2. Huh? I just made summer they will release that. नहीं, सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट ये ऐसा ही ना, ऐसा ही है. अभी तो मेरी दाढ़ी कम हो गई, नहीं तो बहुत बड़ा दाढ़ी था, तो अच्छा खासा वो होता था वहां पर, राइट? तो पुष्पा, that web series or the movie only, based on what? Illegal hunt, red sandalwood. Whereas you'll find which part of Andhra Pradesh, red Seshachalam, and again I'll give you another name. There's a place called Nellore, Chittoor, Kadapa, Kannur, and that area there. The Nallamala Hills is there. There you have that forest, red sandals are there. You know? And another one, I'll tell you one. This Vidya Balan was the forest officer. Terni. You know this movie? Amazon, I think Amazon there. That movie is again inspired from a true story, Avni. You know anybody in the classroom? Avni, you know about tigress of Yavatmal? Yavatmal is a place in Maharashtra. There's one tigress man-eater, you know, man-eater, which attack the humans. So Avni, she was allowed by the government to kill that tigress. Based on that, the movie has been inspired. Killing of the tigress there. Avni, her actual name Avni is there, but in movie they have given, you know, movie they inspire but they give other names. So there you'll find Vidya Balan is an Indian Forest Service officer. In that case, a movie has been made. So there are many around movies there. Even now recently, Manoj Bajpayee, what is that going on? Jiram. Joram or Jiram is the movie there. Joram, no? Manoj Bajpayee is the lead star there. Tribal, you know, tribal, Adivasi, tribal and something. I'll give you another example, Kantara. Kantara is a very good example of environment movie. How environment linked? Environment and development, Kantara. You all have seen Kantara? There's something called Thayyam. What is Thayyam? Thayyam is a kind of a folk art, dance. And that is practiced in Kerala also and also part of Karnataka. That song, you know, that song which they decorate and that with masal, that performing the Devam. Devam is God and the spirit part of it. This is called Thayyam. So that is again you will find in that forest. What is Kantara in Kannada means? Kannada language means mystical forest. Then again you will find that. So again nowadays you will find this directors or the movie makers. So they are bringing those kind of natural aspect in the part of story writing, script and everything there. So that's what comes here. Another thing could be what? I mentioned the same thing here. We can take this tourism also, safari and all this. How many people have gone for safari? Any national park, tiger reserve? So where? Corbett? Abhi Corbett में बहुत issue हुआ है. No, now Jim Corbett, they are getting close there. Any other place? Corbett, she has been to Corbett. Any other place? Kaziranga? Okay, good. Odisha, which place? अच्छा हाँ, नहीं बिहार में वाल्मीकि है, वाल्मीकि टाइगर रिजर्व है ना, वहाँ पे ओनली वन टाइगर रिजर्व है जहाँ पे लोग जाते हैं सफारी के लिए. दैट इज पार्ट ऑफ चंपारण. No, Champaran part, they will find that. So this tourism part also comes here. Next, what comes here? Next will be coming here, this one. I'll write 4 words here. One is this one, spirituality, spiritual. Then we can link with religious. Then cultural and traditional values. I have written 4 words here. Spiritual, religious, culture, traditional values. अभी जो मैंने बताया वो पुलिकली. You have seen that photograph, पुलिकली, that dance, tiger dance. So that is the link with, and you know Onam. Onam is a state festival of Kerala. And what is Kerala called as? God's own country. Hindus, Muslims, Christians. These are 3 communities there. All celebrate Onam. वहां पर वो नहीं कि ये धर्म है, ये चीज है. बिहू, बिहू असम में सब लोग सेलिब्रेट करते हैं. ठीक है, हमेशा याद रखना है, व्हेन यू टॉक अबाउट इकोलॉजी एनवायरनमेंट, इट इज पार्ट ऑफ एवरी रिलीजन ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, नॉट ओनली सेइंग इंडिया, वर्ल्ड वाइड ऑल रिलीजन्स हैव गिवन इंपॉर्टेंस टू द नेचर देयर. अब जैसे पारसी लोग हैं, मैं इसका बहुत अच्छा एग्जांपल, वल्चर, कैरियन बर्ड. व्हाट इज कैरियन बर्ड? बर्ड्स व्हिच ईट द ह्यूमन बॉडी फ्लेश. You know, Parsis have something called tower of silence, and they feed the dead human body. Carcass, carcass, which is eaten to the birds. But what is happening now? Because such vultures have been lost. We'll cover in the classroom something called biomagnification. You would have read about diclofenac, painkiller. So now this kind of things are not being observed there. So again, that comes there, culture, traditional values, right? And the last, I'll write one more area. You can write this part, which is again very important, scientific knowledge. Scientific knowledge that is derived from biodiversity. So let's say, for example, traditional farming method. Can you give me any example traditional farming system of India? Any example? Okay, zoom, or zooming or shifting cultivation, slash and burn. Yes, that is the traditional farming, but nowadays it has created a kind of loss of forest area. But there will be any sustainable farming. That means, sir, they do the farming and also conserve biodiversity. Which one? Where it is done? No, Miyawaki is a Japanese technique. I'm talking Indian one, Indian traditional farming. Kerala कोई बोल रहा है कहाँ पर? There is a place called Kuttanad. They are below sea level farming. Kerala is known for backwaters. So in the backwater of Kerala, they do cultivation of rice. Rice require water, paddy require water. Under the backwater, they cultivate the rice. So I'll just, I'll give you the idea here. Once in 2000, once a question has been asked in the prelims exam about this. This question was asked in prelims 2016. Yes. Now what is GIAS here? It's called globally important agricultural heritage site. Heritage sites. मैं अब 2 चीजें ऐड करो करंट एस्पेक्ट से. एक है GIHS. See what is word here? Global, मतलब important level agriculture heritage. See, whenever word heritage comes, that means old, ancient, coming for a long time. Now in India में these are declared by FAO, Food and Agricultural Organization, which is the UN body, United Nations body, Food and Agricultural Organization. नाउ इन इंडिया में 3 है यहाँ पर. एक दिस व्हाट आई मेंशन कुट्टानाड. कुट्टानाड यू विल बी अवेयर ऑफ वेरी पॉपुलर प्लेस एलएपी. अलापुड़ा बोलते हैं, हाउस बोट वगैरह होता है ना, एलएपी. देयर इज अ कुट्टानाड दैट इज इन केरला. देयर इज अ केरला हियर कुट्टानाड. नाउ दिस कुट्टानाड दिस इज नोन फॉर बिलो सी लेवल फार्मिंग. यहाँ 3 चीज को ग्रो किया जाता है. एक तो राइस पैडी हो गया, दूसरा है एक्वाकल्चर, सी फूड वगैरह जो होता है, और तीसरा होता है यू नो दैट वो पाम कोकोनट है ना, वो जो नारियल वगैरह के होते हैं, तो वो भी ग्रो करते हैं. तो यू हैव एक्वाकल्चर, देन पैडी कल्टीवेशन एंड देन कोकोनट एंड ऑल दोस पाम ट्रीज इन द सेम लैंडस्केप. दे आर डूइंग दैट. सेकेंड वन इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट वन, कोरापुट. वेयर इज कोरापुट? कोरापुट इज इन ओडिशा, right? Is one of the district of Odisha, and again here local tribes, indigenous tribes, they do the farming practices. This is known for mixed farming system, Koraput farming system. Just like you know that nowadays scientists are promoting mixed farming, so mixed traditional farming is there. That means same plot of land they cultivate variety of crops, and it's coming from thousands of years. Mixed traditional farming system. And the third one, very important one, is that Kashmir. All these are with K. There is a saffron, you know, saffron, केसर. केसर की खेती कहाँ होती है? कश्मीर में होता है. और इसका क्या ट्रेडिशनल वैल्यू, मैं I'll tell you that. So see, saffron cultivation requires a lot of hard work. Actually, it is not a. Initially, the plant is just like flower, like you know, pink color flower and all this. बाद में उसको ड्राई करते हैं, उसको प्रॉपर प्रिपेयर किया जाता है. और कश्मीर का ये जो केसर का फार्मिंग है, उसको करने का जो तरीका है, दैट इज वेयर द आई गिव यू प्लेस कॉल्ड पंपोर, PAMPORE. पंपोर, सोपोर, पंपोर इस जगह है. तो वहां पे क्या है कि women are involved in the farming, and women hand over that knowledge to the next generation. So that is where it has been declared as a GIHS, globally important agriculture heritage system. ठीक है. एक तो ये चीज है जो कि 2016 में है. अब एक और एरिया है जहां क्वेश्चन नहीं आया है, बट यू कैन लिंक विद द पार्ट ऑफ इट, heritage and all this one. It's called BHS. I'll be discussing that in the biodiversity class में. हम लोग पढ़ेंगे biodiversity heritage site बोलते हैं. एनी आइडिया किसी को पता हो BHS के बारे में? करंट अफेयर्स में कहीं पढ़ा हो? बायोडाइवर्सिटी हेरिटेज साइट, हेरिटेज साइट. See, one is this one by FAO, which I gave 3 examples from India. Another is a biodiversity heritage site, BHS. ये मैं बताऊंगा कल, tomorrow we'll see that. That is based on NBA. There's a body called NBA, National Biodiversity Authority. और इंडिया में बहुत सारा भी डिक्लेयर हो गया है. अभी मैं बता रहा हूँ क्यों इंपॉर्टेंट है, इसका भी एंगल बता रहा हूँ. माजुली अभी है ना, अभी चल रहा है न्यूज में ना, द PM हैज गॉन टू माजुली. माजुली के बारे में बताओ क्या है, फिर मैं इसको लिंक करूंगा. हाँ, इज अ काइंड ऑफ रिवर एंड आइलैंड है ना, ब्रह्मपुत्र रिवर में वहां पर आइलैंड है. माजुली इज ऑल्सो नोन फॉर बायोडाइवर्सिटी ऑफ ब्रह्मपुत्र रिवर, वहां की बायोडाइवर्सिटी जो है. अब मैं माजुली का लिंक करता हूँ. Majuli is BHS, Biodiversity Heritage Site, right? Let me write. So this is how we have to connect from current. So what is BHS? Those areas which are rich in biodiversity, but they are old. Heritage means old. No, which is very old in, but is known for flora and fauna, species part of it. Just I have given that example. One example comes this one, Majuli Island, right? Now the number has gone very big number is there. So Majuli is one example. In Bengal there is a place called Jhargram. So there is a temple also there, Jhargram. वहाँ सेक्रेड फॉरेस्ट है. Then Sangareddy district near Hyderabad, there is a Aminpur lake. There many are there, but few examples I am writing here. Aminpur lake. Where is there? Telangana. Sangareddy is in Telangana. So there, this Aminpur lake has been declared. Depending on the state, like many states, now they are declaring that. सतना में वहाँ पर भी डिक्लेयर, पतालकोट जगह है, वहाँ पर इसको डिक्लेयर किया गया है. हाँ, छिंदवाड़ा में. और बहुत सारे जगह जो है सैक्रेड फॉरेस्ट है, सैक्रेड ग्रुप बोलते हैं. तो दे हैव बीन डिक्लेयर्ड एज अ हेरिटेज साइट. So I've given just 3 examples. We'll see further more in our coming classes. So now my question is that, are you all comfortable? But did you understand what UPSC is looking for? My main purpose of having the first class telling you all about is that now when you read material, you should ask question. और नहीं होता है तो उसमें ये करना है कि when you are reading material, do the Google search, some keyword search, trying to get more information on that. ठीक है? तो कल ऑप्शनल है, तो कल तो क्लास में कम लोग हो जाएंगे. नहीं, ऑनलाइन तो एक्सेस हो जाएगा, बट कितने लोग आते हैं जनरली जिस दिन बैच हो रहा होता है? यू आर कमिंग टू द क्लास देयर. अच्छा, देयर आर स्टूडेंट्स देयर. ओके. हाँ, यस, डाउट यस. हाँ, यस, वेरी गुड वन. Animal behavior question he has asked very, because this last year was the waggle dance of honeybee. That was asked about orangutan using stick and all this. Indian squirrel question was there. Even earlier, if you go, then question was on this one, ant, fungal garden. Animal behavior, what they are doing is that basically this expert who are setting the question are from WWF and all this one. So what they are doing is they are taking something in the news, like question corner. You have a Hindu paper question corner, and from there randomly they are picking 1 or 2 questions from there. Animal behavior. What you have to do, his question there, when you read about any species in the news, like Malabar civet or any kind of thing, then try to see that it's a biology part of it, whether what type of behavior they have. And I'll tell you very honestly, I'll tell you, this all information will not be in books, will not be in current affairs. You have to do Google search. There's only way out there. If such kind of questions are being asked. हाँ, वैसा लास्ट टाइम पूछा गया था, 4 क्वेश्चन पूछा गया वहां पर, एनिमल के बेस में पूछा है वहां पर. तो वही है उनका, मैंने क्या बताया, उनको यही है कि जितने भी पॉपुलर मटेरियल है उनके बेस में ऐसा करना है कि वो डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन ना पूछे. दैट्स व्हाट द थिंग इज देयर. मैं करवाऊंगा, आई विल डू दैट. आई विल बी डूइंग दैट इन द क्लासरूम. हम लोग क्यूईपी में वो करेंगे हम लोग, जैसे कि जो इंपॉर्टेंट एनिमल्स है इन द न्यूज, तो विल सी दैट बिहेवियर देयर ऑल दिस, कि वेदर इज नॉक्टर्नल, व्हाट टाइप हैबिटेट, वो सारे हम लोग करेंगे. विल डू दैट. हाँ, हाँ बिल्कुल. एनी डाउट? नो डाउट? ओके, थैंक यू. तो विल मीट इन द, एनी डाउट इज देयर, आई एम हियर. इफ यू हैव एनी डाउट यू कैन आस्क मी. हाँ,
स्ट्रिक्ट क्राइटेरिया बताइए. 1500.
हाँ, मिनिमम प्लांट्स होने चाहिए.
सिंगल प्लांट की 1500?
नहीं, अलग अलग डिफरेंट टाइप्स. मतलब उस जगह पे अगर एक